Yes, 100%.
Nee, jy's reg. Hy was net nie sy aandag was net nie daar nie.
Net 'n bietjie ongeskik.
Sy kop was omtrent soos wat myne die hele dag al was.
My gaming chair, I'm gonna play 10 times better. Let's go, boys.
Okay, so julle klaar as kom join my in die lyn.
That always makes a difference. You got to be comfy.
It does, especially if it looks like Bumblebee. Let's go, boys. Hy dakdeel kon gooi, dan skiet ek jou geraak. Waar is hy?
I haven't seen Ducktail here. I know he's on the server, but I think he's on the other side. So there's two courses running tonight. There's CR1 and then there's the radio operator course for those that have finished CR. And they're both running in different locations on the map, so I think some people are getting confused.
Staff, so you will be presenting CI1, I take it?
Correct, yeah.
Copy.
Top Gun will join me shortly. He's going to be a bit late, but yeah, we'll take you through it.
Are you sure about that?
You haven't done CR1 yet, have you?
Only done CI3 and CI4, so I'm back for CI1, CI2 and then CI4.
Ah, okay, good. Yeah.
How's it, man?
Okay, and you?
Good. Listen, is there anything I should know? Because I just got home and fuck, I haven't been on Discord. I see there's something they said about the operator course, radio channel or something.
What course did you want to do tonight?
No, I'm doing the radio one.
Oh, okay, then you, yeah, this is CR1. Yeah, I'll take you there, just hold on.
Okay.
Fine, which weapon must we have?
M27 if you can.
Fine, can you hear me?
Fyn. Daar's 'n ou wat met jou praat.
I can hear worse out.
I've had my mic muted. I'm okay. No, if you drop yours, I can drop you mine. Nee, ek het my mic vergeet. Ek het dit gemute vir julle ouens.
Wow, okay. Hardware mute.
Ja.
Ja, ek gebruik ook een, maar ja,
Alright, let's see how many we've got
soms
here.
raak dit toch wel 'n probleem.
Staff, permission for smoke break.
Yeah, you got 2 minutes.
Yes.
No, we'll give everybody about 3 minutes to join.
I'll jog with
Berkie, you're alright?
my mouth, don't worry.
Werk it, think?
Just need the weapon.
I can drop you mine.
All you guys got M27 with red dot sights on them, eh?
Roger.
There we are.
Ja, Roger.
Good, good.
Affirmative.
Dogtail, kom in.
Berkie, jy het mic weer.
Fyn jou geweer is op jou rug.
Dankie. Thank you. Oeps.
Is nou reg.
Is julle almal ook geskop of net ek?
Weet jy? Want jy het mic weer.
Ek kan dit nie fucking afhaal nie. Dit irriteer my nog as grensloos. Ek double tap
Dit is
Ek
net
hoor jou
nou.
nie nou in game nie.
want ek
Wat is
is
die
kleur? Wys jou nie.
uitgeskop, Bertie, fokus.
O. Okay.
Guys, if I can ask everybody to switch to channel 50. Oh wait, hold on. Scrap that. Give me a second, I don't want to interfere with the other course.
Ek hoef my stream werk.
Right, I think everybody just switch to channel 32 on your radios.
Staff, Ducktail comes from 32. I keep on hearing him on
Is
32.
it? Right, hold on, let me just confirm. They did give us 50 and now they're using 50. Just give me a sec.
Dragon, hoekom het jy nods aan? Jy moet nie night vision hê nie.
And if we just take
Right.
37 staff,
Jy het nou die verkeerde goed gaan kyk.
They're going to be using because it's a radio operator course. And they're probably going to choose their own channels. We were told to be on 50 above. I'm just confirming. Be back now. Just.
As hy nou te kyk nie aan nie.
Ek het net my gear gesave en ek wonder of dit nou reg is.
Kan ek vir check?
Met die hotmax situasie het die lewende gekak uit my uit.
Ek weet net nie waar is hy setting om dit te stel nie, want dis nie onder audio nie. Dis waar ek verwag dit moet wees.
So everybody just change your platoon channel to 50. If you do hear anything on any of the other channels, just switch that channel if you won't hear them talking. So try and be above 50 basically.
Fyn, ek kom my erg.
I will
Roger.
use platoon channel 50 as communication when we are platoon net. Alright, I think we can get started.
Fyn, ek hoor alles stereo ook.
Ja, ek gaan myself net iewers mute.
Group.
Net net binne Discord.
Just to confirm,
Yeah.
can everybody hear me?
Roger that.
Roger.
Everybody's got an M27 with a red dot sight, eh?
Roger.
Roger.
Alright, anybody who's done CR1 already? Nobody.
Negative.
Okay, cool. Alright guys, welcome to CR1. Yeah, go for it, Dun.
I don't have the correct weapon. We were still on the open sites last.
Bertie, wat is
Dan.
dit? Radio
I'll switch it out
No
afterwards.
stress.
50.
ondersteun.
Alright guys, welcome to CR1. I know some of you have attended some of the other CR courses,
Sorry?
which is absolutely
Honestly,
fine, but
yeah,
CR1 is basically the foundation
Woonsie
course
en
of
nou
all the other
praat jy.
CR courses, primarily for everything we do within Milsom. So absolutely you can, whatever you learn and all the practices and the doctrines that you learn, you can of course use in open play or kind of on the open servers. It's encouraged, but it kind of doesn't make sense when there's 4 people on the server and you're trying to kind of practice some of the techniques or the concepts that you learned today. But most certainly in the Milsim environment, these are the foundational courses for a lot of the concepts
Bertie, het jy geweer?
and the basic
Ja.
doctrines. around squads and
Only seen you.
team.
Stop sê
So
reg.
it's basically
Ek het hom. Hy's voor
a
my.
continuation or the next level from boot camp. Boot camp teaches
Oh,
you the
nee.
fundamentals, and this kind of takes it to the next level. So there are 4 parts
Oh,
to
okay.
combat inventory. As I said, some of you have done the various other ones. There's no specific order in which you do them because each one is a lesson or lessons in itself, with the exception of the 4th one, which is generally the final evaluation. So the 4th one is kind of bringing everything together, some new concepts as well, but nothing stops you from doing the 4th one before you do any of the others. The only prerequisite is that you have to finish on the 4th one. So if you do the 4th one and then you do the 1st, the 2nd, the 3rd, doesn't matter, but to qualify or to gain your combat inventory kind of status that you've completed the series, you have to do the 4th one as the last one, and that kind of forms your evaluation. So the aim of combat inventory courses is basically to teach you certain disciplines and concepts and drills to help each of you become a functioning asset within the fire team. So as I mentioned, within a Milsim setting, there's no such thing as a lone wolf or Jason Bourne or those type of activities. You're never out on your own. Everything is done, and all the effectiveness of the whole squad on a battlefield is best achieved in a combat unit. The smallest combat unit you get is 2 people. So it's never ever on your own. Even a sniper is not on their own. So that's basically what the CI courses aim to teach, is how do you operate in a squad, how do you operate in pairs, and various different tactical lessons on how to deal with certain situations. So on the course there's no rank, regardless of your rank within the general kind of, within the community. There are 2 things. There's one which is DS, directing staff, which is myself and any of the other DS staff that attend, which we get addressed as staff. And then of course there is candidate students, which is basically you guys. There's no rank, as I said, throughout the combat inventory course, not only on this one, but in the ones to follow. Expect to be changed around, expect to be given commands at a moment's notice, and the idea is to see how each and individual adapts to various scenarios. So you might be leading a squad, you might be a 2RC. That's why there's absolutely no rank when it comes to this course at all. Alright, so it's okay to make mistakes. All of this requires practice. You're going to learn a lot of techniques here. Some of you have kind of gone through some of it. Some of this might be new to some people. But the point is that there's, this kind of thing takes practice, and there's no expectation for anybody to get this right the first time around. As I said, it takes practice, but it is definitely something you're going to see within the Milsim. It's kind of an expectation that you know certain concepts, or not necessarily know how to execute them 100%, but at least understand the basic concepts behind them. So the course, like most of the courses that we run, follow the EDIP method of training, EDIP, which basically stands for explain. So we will explain something in terms of what it is that the concept entails. We will demonstrate it, so we'll show it to you. How is it done? Then you would imitate it, so you would copy what has been shown, and then it's up to you guys to go and practice it within your gameplay and within the Milsim environment. As I said, it's all practice, but the reality is you generally only get to do a lot of this within the Milsim concept. But the idea is that everybody be on the same kind of level playing ground, that when certain concepts are discussed or executed, at least most of the squad know more or less what to do. I see somebody's infiltrating our channel. Alright, certain conducts. So CI is kind of the more serious part of, you start off with boot camp, it teaches you the fundamentals, and then CI kind of solidifies a lot of that and takes you into a lot more kind of detail and more specific nuances of certain drills and stuff, as well as the etiquette. So also there's certain etiquettes that are kind of adhered to. One of them is all weapons within this environment are generally slung front. What I mean by that is, if you look at me, I've got my rifle on the front of me. Does everybody know how to do that?
Roger.
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 Trying to do mine, but it's struggling.
Alright. Yeah, so get your gun in your
Take out the
hand.
grenade.
Yeah, put the gun in your hand
Okay.
first, and then take the grenade out.
This
then
gun
put
then
the-
grenade.
Yeah. It's basically just an order thing.
Okay.
Are you on keyboard?
Yeah, keyboard working now.
Sorted.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Alright, so the reason why is that if you've got a rifle slung on your back and you're in a combat environment, it takes a lot longer to get that rifle off your back than it does to bring it to your arms when it's slung front. So this environment, known as the pits, is regarded as a combat environment. Therefore, we would conduct ourselves in a combat type setting. So you're not at a parade ground. Therefore, you're not, obviously not going to be kind of have your weapons put away and what have you. Yeah, so that is that, and then generally everybody, when under instruction, doesn't matter who you are, whether you're staff or what have you, you generally kneel. That makes it easier for the person that's kind of giving some of the instruction to see everybody. And then if you want to ask a question, by all means stand up to be acknowledged, and then you can all fire away. At any stage, feel free to ask any questions. Like to keep it interactive. If there's something you don't understand or there's a concept that you need explaining a little bit more, let me know. But yeah, I like to keep it quite interactive.
Roger.
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 Alright, the other thing is weapons are to be made safe. This is a big one, in the sense that this needs to be taken seriously. I mean, yes, this is a game. We do ask that you suspend your belief a little bit, but this is a live environment. Weapons are to be made safe at all times. Does everybody know how to do that? So if it's slung front, that's fine, it's not in your arms, but make sure that the safety is on when you do have the weapon in your hand, because accidental discharges don't go down well, especially with mango. So yeah, I mean, it's taken in very serious light. So be conscious of, pulling the trigger, or always just make sure that the weapon is safe, so that somebody doesn't accidentally get fired upon or shot. Does
Roger.
everybody know how to make their guns safe? So on the keyboard you double tap control if you're holding it. I'm not sure if the console guys though.
You can keep in R as well, staff.
Cool, thank you for that. Alrighty. Okay, so yeah, as I said, the purpose of the course of this specific one is to make you a useful member of a infantry rifle section. So as I said, it's, this game isn't all these type of scenarios. It's not done by a single person. So you're always within a squad, or at least you will be paired up. So if you understand certain drills and maneuvers, then it doesn't have to be discussed, because of course then both of you understand exactly what to do, or your squad understands what you need to do, and you would just act upon it. So that's the whole idea behind it. So the purpose of infantry is to close in on the enemy and destroy them. Only infantry can close and destroy and occupy that ground. No vehicle can do it. No air assets can do it. Only you can occupy ground. The infantry is the glue that basically holds together the operation. You can't do it with vehicles alone. You can't do it with air assets. So yes, I mean, it's the people on the ground, the boots on the ground, that actually occupy the areas, make them safe, and basically hold that ground. Alright, the course today, there's basically two things. Hey, staff. Top Gun.
Evening staff.
So the course, no stress. Alright, the course today is basically fire and maneuvers, which you would have touched on in boot camp. That you did a very, very high level version of that. So this will basically be just going over that a little bit, but then more importantly, we're going to practice that in pairs. So as I mentioned, you're not a lone soldier, you're going to be operating within a squad, you're going to be operating perhaps in pairs, you will be in pairs within a squad. It's basically how do you maneuver within a combat environment under fire in those pairs safely, and how do you support one another. So what we're going to do is go through a very brief introduction of what you've already been shown within boot camp, and that was a fire maneuver by yourself. You may have done it in pairs. This takes it to a kind of a higher level with practicing. Everybody's done it in different locations. Some did it out on the parade kind of area where there's no concealment. So everybody may have had a different experience. The idea is to go through the process, go through the drill properly, and then practice it in pairs, get that timing right, get that communication going. And then what we're going to then move on to is how do we assault the enemy? How do we approach an area that we're going to assault? What tactics do we employ? How do we support one another to try and keep the odds in our favor? And how do we overcome the enemy, and what approach do we take? So I think if everybody can just follow me, we're just going to head up over here.
Sorry, staff.
Yep.
I just need to quickly restart or respawn because my radio will restart.
Sorry?
No problem. So we're just going to be up here where that scaffolding is, or that area.
Okay, I'll get you there.
And on staff.
Yeah.
Lucky.
Hasse.
Is geen choppers vir jou nie hoor.
Stop het. 2 keer gebeur het jy nou.
Alright, let's just wait for the other guys while they just spawn in. Did you manage to swap out? Yeah, no, it's probably getting this stuff.
Zet de armory so.
Perfect, thank you.
Bert, is jy bang vir die donker met die night visions?
Het hulle klaar afgehaal?
Sou die.
Hulle is op jou kop.
Hulle is op jou kop.
Ons staan agter my en hy hou my bout vas.
Ek sien
Alright, is that everybody? Alright, okay, so individual fire maneuvers. So the first thing we're going to do is just review the fire maneuver process that we did as part of boot camp. The difference here, as I mentioned, is we have kind of concealment. We can actually practice it properly. So if we look to our west, you may not see it from where you are located, but if you stand up directly west, bearing 287, there is a bunker seen.
Roger, seen.
Roger.
Right, so that is what we are going to be maneuvering towards. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the fire and maneuver. I'm going to demonstrate just what you covered in boot camp, just to familiarize yourselves with the concept. We're going to go into the detail, because that's one thing we don't do in boot camp. We show you the basic concept, but not the, I guess, the why. we'll go through that, but then ultimately what you guys are going to do is practice that in pairs. So I'm going to first show you what we're going to do as far as individuals concerned, because it's the same. The only difference is you're going to do it in pairs. Alright, so if that's the bunker that we are approaching, so generally speaking, these kind of maneuvers, what we refer to as fire maneuver, is when you are under fire. Now there's different types of fire. Does everybody know the different types of fire you get?
No, suppression and
Covering fire.
covering.
Alright, okay, so there's, yeah, there is that for kind of what we would do to the enemy. But as far as enemy fire is concerned, there is direct and indirect fire. So, or effective fire. So, ineffective fire would be something like this. Kind of firing in your direction. It's not aimed specifically at you. The enemy may not know where you are. They know more or less the vicinity you're in, but they just blanket firing. Effective fire is this. Oh shit, sorry. Did I hit you?
Medic?
Sorry about that. So effective firing is exactly that, where the target, the rounds are actually landing within your vicinity. Effective fire also means that it's either going to cause a casualty, like I've just done, or alternatively it is causing casualties. So it's kind of either you act on it or you are going to become a casualty, or some of your squad is going to become a casualty. So that's what's referred to as effective fire. The one thing that we as infantrymen have to get used to is moving under fire and know the difference. So don't freeze up, don't just run into the wilderness when you hear shots being fired in your general vicinity. You'll very quickly start to differentiate what is effective and what is not. Obviously, if rounds are hitting you, obviously that's effective. If they're landing close to you, that's effective. But anything shot within your general direction that's hitting a couple of trees around you, that you've got to know the difference and you've got to know how to move in each of those situations. Who did I hit?
Roger.
Parky.
Yeah, roger that.
Parky.
Roger.
All right.
Roger.
Yeah,
Sorry, but I didn't mean to. Probably just bounced off the ground.
it was effective.
Sorry about that. All right, so that's kind of where we would use something like individual firing maneuvers, is when we're under that suppression fire, but we have to move, because if we don't move, we're going to be stationed in one location and not be able to get anywhere, and that's obviously not what infantry is about. There are situations where you will get pinned down, and that's understandable, but generally speaking, it's reacting to the situation, getting to cover or concealment, and then what is the next plan of action. So if we just go over the individual firing maneuvers, this is kind of what you learnt within the boot camp. The difference is that there's a little bit more explanation now. So there's basically, when you come under effective fire, how do you deal with it? It's basically, there are a couple of concepts that you have to follow, and you have to do them fairly quickly. The first thing you're going to do is dash. So what that means is you're going to run in a general direction towards concealment or cover. Now, we obviously in the premise of the fact that we have concealment and cover here. It's a different scenario. If you don't have that, that's a different thing. But assuming that we have this concealment and cover, the bunker is firing at us, the first thing we're going to do is dash towards concealment. The second thing we're going to do while we're dashing is fire 2 or 3 shots in the general direction. Does anybody know why we do that?
To get their heads down, sir.
You suppress.
100%. Yeah, so that's one of the reasons, is to let them know that we know we're being engaged, get their heads down. But the second thing that it does is it also alerts the rest of your squad. You might be an extended line, and your furthest man might be, let's say, 300, 400 meters away from you. And if you were to shout out something, they may not hear you. They're most certainly going to hear your rounds go off. So immediately they would kind of go into defensive positions. So it serves two purposes. One, try and keep the enemy's head down. You're generally shooting, they're not accurate shots, it's just in the general direction. Your concern should not be to get accurate shots or try and see where the enemy is. Your main objective is to get to concealment and safety as soon as possible, because if you hang around, the second or the third shot, you might not be lucky and you'll be down. So it's first thing we do is dash in the general direction. We fire off 2 or 3 shots, and then we approach the cover and we crawl into it. Does anybody know why we do that? So why don't I go down directly into the cover?
Because it's not concealed, it's cover.
Or the concealment, sorry, my bad there. So either cover or concealment. Why do I not just approach it and go down? So for example, if I was going to this bush and I just all of a sudden get down.
know you're behind.
Your position.
Out of the enemy's sight.
100%. So if they see you go down there, guess where the next rounds are landing. So good practice is to approach the concealment about 2 or 3 meters before it, go down, and then crawl into cover. It could also be that you approach it from an angle and you roll into the cover. So the basic premise is that you don't want the enemy to see exactly where you went into cover. They will know roughly more or less where you are, but you don't want them to know exactly what tree you're at. So that's kind of what we do. The next thing we do is we observe. So we look around, look through the cover. Now that's quite difficult because, I mean, if you look at this, the grass is quite long. You know more or less what direction the shots came from, but you may not know exactly where they are yet. By this time, they may still be shooting at you. So the observation is more to get a situational awareness of what is going on now. Hopefully in some concealment, they don't more or less know where I am, but I can't stay there for long. But listening to where the rounds are coming from, where they're landing, where the sound is coming from. Armour does a very good job with sound engineering in the sense that it's very accurate with sound. If a shot comes off in the back left corner, you know it came off in the back left corner. You can generally judge the distance of the shot from the sound. So it's a very good job at doing that. So the main objective there is to observe your surroundings, look around, see if you can see anything. Also pay attention to your squad mates. Where are they? You know, kind of communicate with one another. But the main thing is look after yourself first. Make sure that you're okay and then observe. This next thing that you would do is try and get a sight picture. Now, if I'm lying down over here, now unfortunately I'm in a bit of dead ground here, but try and see if you can see the general direction through your sights, where you're going to potentially put your next couple of rounds. As I said, it's not possible always to have an exact spot or sight picture of where the enemy is. And the other thing is that you don't necessarily have to be lying down. If your concealment allows for it, or your cover, for example, behind this rock, lying down is not going to help me, but being in a kneeling position, at least I've got a better sight of what I'm trying to look at or identify. So it doesn't necessarily have to be lying down. In this course, I think because it's mostly trees and foliage, you're going to probably choose the, you know, kind of lie down and get on your belt buckle option, because being concealed, it conceals you a lot more, especially from this kind of this scenario. That bunker is on elevated ground, you're already at a disadvantage. So the situation also dictates what kind of tactic you're going to employ as to how your stance is going to be positioned. If you're on higher ground, you might lie down. If you're in lower ground, you might lie down. But if you're behind a rock, you might be kind of in a kneeling position. So it depends on the environment. Once we've got a sight picture, even if I do not see the target, I'm going to lay down some suppressive fire, very similarly to what I did earlier. And that is to keep heads down and just kind of hope that you don't get pinned by them just continuously firing on you, because they'll keep on doing that if they are not being suppressed themselves. If you do not have any commands to kind of move, and we will do that in practice with pairs, it's also a good idea to change your position. So you're down under cover. I fire off a couple of shots. There is a very good chance that they would have heard or seen the muzzle flash or the tracer rounds as I'm running out of ammo. It's also a good idea to perhaps move or roll over or kind of just move your positioning a little bit, but do so without kind of exposing your concealment. So yeah, I mean, that's the basic principles of what you learned. I think the only thing you didn't learn was the kind of the steps that would be followed and the reason why. So just to kind of summarize, you would dash. So I would dash towards cover. I would get down. Sorry, glitching out here. I'd crawl into my cover. I would observe, get a sight picture, and fire a couple of rounds. Is everybody happy with that?
Roger.
Roger.
Alright, cool. So as I said, that's just a rehash of what we did in boot camp with a little bit more detail. We do next. Yeah, Fred. Sorry, go for it.
Reef.
100% right.
REF.
100% right. That's reaction to effective enemy fire, REEF. You guys are going to learn a lot of acronyms tonight. Something that I did forget to mention, apologies for this. In the Discord, under combat inventory, which is under the courses and training, if you do not have access, let Fly-by-Right know. He will give you access to that. But in the or Top Gun, yeah. There are a number of cue cards that kind of describe a lot of these. So it's basically like cheat sheets, and then they have a couple of, well, actually they've got all of the different acronyms and the different steps that you can use just to familiarize yourself. You don't have to remember the acronyms, but when they come up, it'll become second nature if you've kind of looked at those key cards. It's quite easy to remember. All right, so that is firing maneuver in a individual capacity. So what we're going to practice now is the fire maneuver, but within a, sorry, my machine's just glitching and freezing here, in pairs. So same concept. The only difference is that while you are moving, the other one is firing. So generally speaking, you are going to come under contact. We will demonstrate this. You would come under contact, and you would both go down, and then you would be in both now kind of sitting in a situation where now you need to act because there's obviously fire coming your way, and then you would move individually while the other one's firing. That's something that you guys would work out to say, right, I'm going to move or you're going to move. While the other person is moving, the other one is laying down fire. You are never moving at the same time because your buddy or your battle buddy is suppressing while you are basically looking for concealment. Once you have found concealment, you're going to go through the exact process that we went through. So you're going to go through dash, down, crawl, observe, sights, fire. And that whole process happens as fast as you can say it, generally speaking. While you are moving, your battle buddy is kind of laying down suppressive fire. Once you're in the position and you start firing, you then call to your battle buddy to move. They advance about no more than about 100 meters in front of you, and then they get down, and the whole process repeats. The objective here is to get to where you are going. So in this case, we are looking at that bunker. That is kind of where we're moving to. Regardless of what we're going to do when we get there, that's not the objective. The main thing is to keep moving and firing, but advancing at the same time. There's a couple of things that you've got to consider. Ammunition. Your magazine only holds so many rounds. So you don't want to expel all of your ammunition and do long bursts of fire. You want to do bursts such as this. Well, not bursts.
Deliberate fire.
Deliberate fire, exactly. Be aware of your ammunition. You are going to have to change magazines, so you need to time this, and you need to communicate this with your battle buddy. So you need to tell them that you change your magazine, and the way we do that is you call out magazine. You've got to do so before they are moving. Because you can't do it while they're moving, because you obviously now stop the fire. So it becomes very much a timing and communication thing. Communication here is very, very, very key. You need to be very deliberate with your commands. The commands you only have to really use is magazine, if you're changing a magazine, and move. So for example, if Thane is my battle buddy, and I have now just gotten into a position of concealment, I'm now laying down fire. The next thing I call out is Thane, move. Thane moves. He gets into the position. He calls out to me once he's ready, and I also listened for his kind of fire that he's going to put down. The minute he says, Sykes, move, I move. So you've always got one guy talking at any given time. There's never an opportunity where the enemy can now just start to take pot shots, accurate fire. I mean, it does happen, but the idea is to keep them suppressed as best you can. As you get closer, hopefully you're getting more and more on target, so your shots become more deliberate. So instead of now guessing where that bunker is or where to hit it, you should be within a very short period of time be able to put down accurate shots, which would typically suppress them even better. And ultimately, if you overcome them, which is obviously the aim, you obviously then eliminate that threat. Any questions so far?
Negative stuff.
Side, can I quickly say something?
Yeah, go for it.
When you have open ground in front of you and you see no cover, and that's let's say it's a big field in front of you, and you can't move from there, then you use your smoke. Start using smoke to get cover to the next cover, basically. So you throw it basically where you want to go, if you know what I mean.
Conceal myself. Sorry.
That's the one.
Yeah. So smokes are your friend. You're going to learn that throughout CI. You can never have too many. You never win. I never have too many, lucky enough. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely a thing that you're going to use often. So if you don't already, have some kind of shortcut to get to smoke quickly. You're going to use them more than you use grenades. They offer better benefits than grenades typically do because of the fact that you're going to be using them so often. Alright, so what we're going to practice, I think, Top Gun, you and I are going to do a kind of a demonstration, and then you guys will follow suit. What we'll do is in pairs, as I mentioned. Within a squad is typically anything 4, 5, up to 8 people. But one thing that you need to get used to is even when you are paired within a small fire team that might be 4 or 5 people, or you're in a bigger company that might be 8 to 12, you always have a battle buddy within your squad, somebody that you are going to, and it may not be permanent in the sense that for the whole duration of a particular objective they are your battle buddy. It could be, but just pair up with somebody. When you get into a situation like this, you can't do it alone, and you needs to be instinctive that the person to your right or left who is who's running with me and who's protecting and who am I protecting. So the idea is to work in pairs, but in the greater kind of squad or kind of company that you're part of. So that's what we're going to practice now. We're going to go into a lot more detail
Jerky, jy en Thyn kan saam wees. Ek sal maar saam met Varkie wees.
elements within the
Oh,
squad.
dankie Bert.
But we'll practice this just to get familiar with the kind of movement, the technique, and I mean this is clunky on a PC. I can only imagine how clunky it is on a controller. So it takes a bit of coordination to get used to, and then of course the communication. That is very, very, very key.
My stresballetjie het ontplof.
Top Gun, you wanna go through it? Right.
What else?
Okay, we're walking. Fire.
Contact.
We both run into concealment.
Sides move.
I get up and I move. Up and move.
Moving. Easy, Max D.
Ja, dat is echt gedoen.
Moving. Top Gun, move.
Moving. Sides move.
Moving.
Magazine.
Top Gun, move.
Jou vrommel, manne.
Wat daar staan Top Gun nou so en die internet gekry. Okay. So fine.
Roger.
Roger, self.
Varkie, ek en jy kan saam wees.
Roger.
Alright, so that's the basic concept. As you see there, one of the mistakes that I made was not monitoring my own ammunition, and I had to change magazines. So that's, I mean, it's quite difficult, and it's something that takes a lot of practice, and often it's not exact timing. So in other words, you're not going to be running and sprinting for 5 seconds, laying down fire for 10 seconds. It's very sporadic. So it's something that just needs to be practiced. But the communication is key, because there is that element where you both are changing magazines at the same time. Hopefully one of you is not running at the time. If you do, you hit the dirt as fast as you can. But it takes a bit of practice. I mean, these magazines generally don't hold a lot, and you dispel a lot of ammo very quickly without actually realizing it.
Roger.
Any questions?
Roger.
All right.
Negative stuff.
So just to recap, first thing you're going to do, you're going to hit contact fire. Let me just reload. First thing you're going to do, 2 or 3 shots.
Then
You're gonna
dash.
Then dash. You're going to go down into concealment or crawl towards it. You're going to observe. And all this has to happen pretty quickly. You're going to get a sight picture. You may not see what you're looking for, but you know the general direction. You're going to start to fire a couple of shots. You need to decide between the two of you who's going to go first. The communication needs to be clear. And then the person that's firing will continue to fire or to lay down suppression fire. The battle buddy is then going to get up and dash towards cover or concealment, crawl into it, get into the position of now laying down fire, and then call out to their battle buddy, move. And then the process continues. One thing to be very, very conscious of is the arc of fire. Do not run in direct line of your battle buddy. So don't cross the line like this. You will get shot. The other thing is don't run too far ahead. Don't run too little. So in other words, take 2 steps and hit the dirt. Unless, of course, you are actually taking fire. I mean, that's a different scenario. And then, yeah, I think that's it. Top Gun, anything else you want to add?
No, that's that. Oh, one thing. If you're here and you're down, you can't see anything. When you're behind a rock, you don't have to go on your belt buckle. You can go kneeling. It's also concealment here, and it's cover. So when you're in the boots, then you're basically going to go on belt buckle.
Yeah. Does everybody know how to adjust their... so everybody knows how to go into a kneeling position, but does everybody know how to go lower than a kneeling position without... Alright, so on a PC, it's control and your mouse wheel. So when you're kneeling and you control and mouse, I'm not sure on a controller. Anybody know on a controller?
Negative stuff.
I think it would have something to do with the sticks. But yeah, that also helps because if you're behind a rock, for example, like this one here, kneeling might make you a little too high, but if you can go a little lower like that, you actually then are better concealed and protected. So just a little tip. The other thing that I just wanted to mention on controls, everybody know how to free look. So in other words, move your head independently to your body.
Roger.
Roger.
Perfect. So that,
Negative, sorry.
so on a PC, are you on PC?
Correct.
Hold down your Alt and move your mouse.
Roger.
So that makes a
sorry.
huge... Yeah, go for it.
Double tap, then you stay in that position.
Yeah, perfect. So that becomes very useful, especially in a scenario like this, because you may want to be... you may kind of want to be concealed, but you want to look to your right. Now, the only way you would look to your right, generally speaking, is move the whole body, and then you could, expose yourself. But if you could just tilt your head and look left or right, it's quite easy to see where your squad mates or your battle buddy, or just look around and get general kind of situational awareness.
I think just to be aware, your body still moves around even if you do look left and right. So there are points in time where your body might stick out if you do check out of cover.
100%. So where that also becomes, if you do it when you're lying down, so I'm moving my head, but if I move like this now, lying down it becomes more pronounced. So you're absolutely right. It just be aware that you want to keep your minimum, your movements to a minimum, especially when you're trying to remain concealed, or you might be behind a very, very small rock or a tree stump. The smaller profile you can make of yourself, the better, of course. All right, let's practice this. Yeah, go for it.
A question now. You guys mentioned if we do move up to a target, if I may run forward and just show on the side here, I might be behind these trees. I don't have sight on that target.
Yeah.
So can I communicate that with my battle buddy and be like, hey, listen, I can't see. Do I then move up first or do they move up first?
So that is dependent on the scenario. So the reality is that both of you may not see. In this case, it's a very good example in the sense that one of you may see the target before the other one. You've got to move in a way that you have ammunition and one is suppressing fire. So there's no hard and fast rule to say that if Birky moved first and then Doom moved second, but Doom can move a little bit further and get eyes on the target and suppress them even or take them out. So long as Birky can suppress you and support you, well not suppress you but support you, there's no hard and fast rule as to the order. We teach the order like this because you get into the rhythm of the tandem of moving. But there's no hard and fast rule to say that because you went first, you can only go, after I've moved. So long as you got ammo.
So my question, I think, then becomes more: do you communicate that I don't have eyes on contact? Absolutely.
Communication is key. Whatever you see or observe, you communicate. So in this case, what we're saying is, all right, communicate when you're moving. If you see something, absolutely communicate it. I mean, the whole premise of survival within a squad is observation and communication, because without those two things, your squad's pretty much done. If somebody doesn't call out something that they saw or think that they should have said something, and then the other half of the squad moves directly into that fire, which you could have avoided, those are the kind of scenarios. So if you see something, absolutely communicate. There isn't too little communication. The more you see, the more you communicate with your buddy, the better. Absolutely.
Roger.
All right. Okay, guys, first two up. Yeah, so find a battle buddy.
If there's somebody
Do me!
if there's extra one, you can wait for a first pen and can just battle up with another one.
All right, guys, the rest of you move a little bit back. And then we'll have the two first guys up first. So give yourselves a bit of spacing. You don't want to be on top of each other.
I'll go back. Okay.
Alright, so who's up?
Me and Jim Shorts.
Jim. Okay, perfect. Papa, move a bit over. Come kind of this other fly. Yeah, there we go, a little bit more.
To my side, yeah.
Alright, perfect. Okay, so we will simulate the contact fire. I'm not going to shoot anybody else, trust me.
Roger.
So kind of, so advance as if you were walking.
Stop quickly, wait. The rest of you can come up, go upside the observatory.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Klim, Duper, klim.
Whatever you do, don't fall off the ladder.
Yeah, gravity is a bitch. Kom maar 'n bietjie ver van mekaar af, julle stop mekaar.
Nee, die loopspoed, dat ons simuleer ons stap ver.
Does everybody know how to adjust their walk speed?
Negative. I actually wanted to ask that.
So on a PC, if you scroll your mouse button without pushing any buttons, scroll it back, you'll walk. If you move it forward a little bit, you'll move forward faster.
That is separate to your sprint.
Correct. Sprint, you hold down your shift. Even if you have walking, kind of your speed of walking is walking, and you hold down shift, you will run. So it doesn't affect your sprint, as Doom said, it doesn't affect your sprint speed. Also becomes very, very useful and mandatory actually when you are doing squat kind of maneuvers, or what's the word I'm looking for?
Say again?
What? Moving in formation.
Yeah, formation into
Yeah, when you're doing formation. So you never want to be behind the guy in front of you and you're sprinting and stopping, sprinting and stopping. You want to keep a...
Ja, ek het hulle raak gesien.
Extended line of arrow, yeah.
Yeah. Alright guys, ready?
Roger.
Ja, maar daar is nie nou vir ons nie. Dis te later.
Walk forward.
Bergie moet jy voor 'n bietjie skoon maak.
Contact, front.
Okay, dash into cover.
I went down too quick here.
Remember to shoot a couple of
Cover.
rounds.
Doom Shorts, move.
Roger. Safe.
Doom Shorts, move.
Beetje ver genoeg hier.
Dat gaan huis gaan ook binnekort uit daar.
Het gaan nou gebeur.
Gebruik je radio's. Gaan beter wees.
Ceasefire.
Hulle is naby mekaar. Fyn, kom ons beweeg af.
That was good, guys. It was good, effective communication, and your synchronization was pretty good. Both of you ran out of ammo, but you did so in a safe
So Karkie, ons gaan hier na fyn hulle gaan.
environment or safe situation.
Just remember crawl, nobody crawled.
Yeah.
Yeah, Roger.
So remember,
Jy kan regs gaan, dan gaan ek links of wil jy andersom.
No problems.
Next to.
GG10 Beertjie.
Like a proper.
Check your equipment, check your max, make sure. Okay, if you're ready, you can start move.
Contact.
Contact front, effective.
C286. Mag.
Shout the commands, guys.
Thane move. Mag.
Okay, ceasefire.
see how tricky it gets with changing mags and the coordination. It's yeah, just everybody just shout the commands. The further the person is away, and obviously with the M27 is not too loud. I mean, it's loud.
Use platoon.
Yeah, use platoon
channel 50.
rather. Yeah, it's gonna be easier. I've got people that want to go to bed soon, so sorry, I'm trying to. No, it's, just use channel 50 then, you don't have a shot.
Dit is slegte tyd om te call bad night.
Well done, guys.
Shit, hulle het my gehoor.
Alright, guys, next up.
Yes. Sotie, ja.
Bye.
Check your mags, check your rifles, safety's
Ek dink
off.
dit het sleg gegaan nie, hoor. Enigstens.
You ready, you can go.
Nee, dit het glad te sleg gegaan nie.
Alright.
Karkie move.
Stop. There haven't been any contacts. Move back.
Ons sal volgende
Okay.
Kom maar, saam met jou
You're on
weer
patrol
gaan.
now first.
Hey.
Sorry, sir.
Then you can start to say contact.
So papa.
Reload.
Okay, call, always check your mag, make sure that your safety is off. You won't believe the amount of people that pull the trigger and nothing happens.
Okay, now you're just on patrol.
Roger.
You just like firing. Then you do contact.
Alright, move forward.
Okay, contact.
No contact yet.
No contact yet. Stel varkie kom terug.
Reload. Ooh, altyd dieselfde.
Fire.
You'll hear the fire.
Okay, let's go again.
Contact, Derby, contact.
Contacts.
Safe om te beweeg.
Down. Get
Move.
Dragon, down, yeah.
JP ons platoon.
Call out.
Ek sukkel met die platoon. Oh ja,
Okay,
ek sal
call
ek
for
sal
it to
trek.
move.
Want dit is die keer nog.
Oh,
geen covering fire nie.
Party
Niks.
move.
Is op 50.
Caps lock.
Bert, jou mag, hoe voel is jou mag?
Yes.
Ja, hy het nog genoeg.
Terugskuif, want ek dink ek het hom beter toegeskuif.
Ja, ek hoor jou.
Mac. Okay, Dragon keeps suppressing. Move up. Dragon. Okay, move, Dragon. Move, Dragon.
50 sê jy.
Oorkamer val plat.
Yes,
deur
50.
die kamer.
Move.
Jy sit weer hier by Bert. Skiet.
Okay, move forward. Okay, Dragon, move.
Bert by Bert.
Okay, ceasefire.
Het jy dit reg gekry?
Yes, ek het hom op 50, maar okay, ek sal hom try. Hy is nog steeds op T.
Alright, he's
Maar ek sal hom try. Okay, kus kan. Kus gaan af.
Check maps, check rifles.
Checked.
Just wait for the dragon.
Staan nou Bert, die hardloop crouch.
Okay, start move.
Contact.
Wie het julle right gedoen?
Ek het my kak gemaak. Dus ek kom ek maar net saam met Sein wil wees. Ek wil hom nie om elke keer in die kak bring nie.
Nee, jy het right gedoen. Dis meer iets anders en nou. Hy het nie veel gesê om te beweeg.
Die covering fire ook het hy maar sleg gedoen. Ek het nou maar my dis
Jy het die eerste fout gemaak en toe nie weer iets. Jy was nie keer reg gestel nie. Dis alright.
En maar anders sien ek niks.
Ja, maar daar is covering fire. Suppressing fire. Dis nie.
Ja, maar ek skiet in die grond vas as ek gaan lê. So ja, dis kom ek klaar.
ja, ek het maar my Discord se ding op push to talk gesit.
En die gunshot is flip.
Het werk daarom.
Okay, ceasefire.
Varkie, as jy op PC is, op keyboard, dan druk jy F2, dan silence jy die shots.
Another thing, guys, to consider is that you don't have to run in a straight line.
Doe maar ek het dit geweet het.
Concealment to concealment, but as I said, just be aware of your arc fire. Don't run into your buddy's firing line.
Roger.
Roger, sir.
Who's next?
Roger, staff. Ek en JP staff.
Chop.
JP het die by nie.
Daar reg skele gaan.
Ready?
Parkie, jou geweer is op jou rug. Parkie, jou geweer is op jou rug.
Taking fire.
Okay, Soti, that's nice.
Observing.
Ja, wel dan.
Taking shot.
Dan het hom julle
JP move. Varkie move. Papa move. Moving. Varkie move. JP.
Ek het in mekaar geraak af.
Papa move.
Varkie, dan gaat jy. Sien jy dan net voor? Voor in die moeilijkheid kom, Varkie.
Papa move.
Net hy met die guns
Magazine.
is, sou teen my daar.
Hoe doen jy dit?
Move JP.
Vir die handgranaat in jou hand.
Magazine alweer.
Tab Z.
Papa move. Moving. JP move.
Okay, ceasefire.
Ek het daai twee nou al 2 keer gesê, gaan hulle los is nie.
That's everybody gone?
Ja, nee, los uit toe. Ek het hulle ook gewys.
Roger.
Alright, what did you think of that?
Hulle het nogal nie sleg gedoen nie, behalwe nou vir die varkies se naam die hele tyd te gebruik, maar ja.
Alright guys, we've been at it for an hour. We're gonna have a 3-minute break, so we'll come back, I think it's 21:05. Come back at, let's say, 21:08. You need to go.
Come kneel here, and if you're here, just stand up.
Permission to go swap out mags, staff?
You can go?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, when you're back, just stand up, so we know you're back. You see the stuff in the Mulsum Sunday? It looks insane, man.
Ik moet op mijn Engels werken.
Yeah, I'm still waiting to hear how the command's going to work.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
already
it
took a
looks-
screenshot for the guys here.
Okay, good. Lekker.
Staff Sykes?
Yeah.
Just one thing, give Gun a chopper in the morning.
Groot bek.
He turns it into a grasshopper.
Ja, wel. It worked. Ik heb die bounce toets gedaan op hom.
En het werkt niet, is my way die.
Were you on the Mulsum when it became night, Papa?
Was a casual now.
Oh, okay.
Ja.
Yeah, but power went out here in our area, so that was cut short.
Okay.
Hij was donker geweest zondag.
Yes, like it. Yeah.
But I got night through the bushes. Before that.
Yeah, it was. It's a big map. That it's tough to get anywhere on that map without a vehicle, and even if you do have a vehicle, it takes time.
Yeah, it does. I remember picking up Top Gun and then all of a sudden Top Gun said stop, he needs to get out, runs all the way back. Was het lava?
Ik denk het was lava geweest.
Lava, het was lava, high shame.
Nee, ik heb verdwaald samen met Sykes.
Yes, with the car that doesn't have lights.
I can see how that would happen.
Ja, stop het. Ons nog in die lichte gehad.
Hoop jy goed uitskiet.
Meester, zelfs met lichten kon ons niks zien.
Ja.
Yeah, no, it was hectic. We were navigating with flares. One would get out, shoot a flare, and then drive a bit.
Like the fireworks.
I navigated with my dead body lying 10 meters apart from each other.
Becky, you guys back? Dragon, you back?
Not yet.
Ik nog nooit een squid zien en kijken of hij wakker is.
Did anyone see the new Homeland Security video they released?
Homeland Security video, no.
Negative.
No, they used the Pokemon Gotta Catch 'Em All theme song, catching doing the ice raids.
I kind of sort of brought some drovers along for tonight's training, thinking Mango would be here. It's a shame.
Yeah, I think it's one thing he misses.
Don't tell him, please.
He's on the other side.
Yeah, he's not
He's coming November to South Africa.
Becky, you're back. Pity you can't pick people up in this, like, unless they're wounded.
Ja.
Beertjie. Ons het gesê pis bruik, nie kak bruik nie.
Beertjie is nog nie terug nie.
Cool. Give him another 30 seconds.
Beertjie is so pas terug.
There we go.
Ja,
Alright guys, follow me.
Roger.
Roger.
Form extended line in front of sites.
Alright, so we're all present. Guys, still hear me, eh?
Roger.
Roger.
Alright, so what we just went through now is the squad and fire team maneuvers, and that forms the basis of general moving. When you are moving within a squad or as a pair, how to move safely and how to assist each other within a combat environment if you're under fire. And we obviously now know the difference between effective and non-effective fire or deliberate fire. The next concept is basically the battle drills on how to assault an area. So generally speaking, as I mentioned earlier, as a infantry squad, your objective normally is to find the enemy and basically eliminate them. That's all good and well, but how do you approach a hostile environment or a specific area that is occupied by the enemy and they are shooting at you? So there's a number of tactics that you generally kind of employ to do that. So the aim of the battle drills, and there are 6 of them, is how a fire team and a squad assault an enemy position. So if we look behind me, we have a bunker to the west. We have some enemy there, but let's disregard the enemy for now. And between us and that bunker, we have a number of concealment elements within our kind of landscape here, which is basically these log kind of bales that we've got that are dotted around the area. So basically the concept here, as I mentioned, there are 6 battle drills, essentially 6 steps that one would follow together with your battle buddy, but more pertinent with your squad, and how you would actually approach that enemy position in the safest possible way. And yeah, so I will run through them quickly and then we'll go into detail as to what they are, and then we will walk this together, going through each one of those steps, and then later on at the end of this you're actually going to practice this whole concept. Some of you have done it, called the grinder. Those that have not, you're going to have a lot of fun, probably get killed, but this will test this will test basically the concepts that you've learned today and also put them into practice. Alright, so the first thing in terms of the battle drills is prep for battle. So before you're going to assault a enemy position, so in other words, you might be in a tree line, you've been dropped off in a location, you know the general direction in which you need to start going to get to an enemy position or to your objective. The first thing you're going to do is prep for battle. So that's basically getting yourself ready, making sure that all your kit is ready, and then basically you can move on to the next step. It doesn't help if you're not prepared, you don't have enough magazines, you're injured or whatever the case may be. You obviously got to get yourself and your squad within the best possible, give them the best possible odds to be able to kind of move forward, or else you become largely ineffective. Doesn't help if half of you don't have ammunition, or you are not wearing the right stuff, you don't have the right kit for the mission, those kind of things. So that's kind of prep for battle. I will go in greater detail with this. I'm just going to run through them. The second one is reaction to effective enemy fire. So in the scenario here, let's assume that you now take enemy fire, which is effective. It's landing at your feet. You've just gone through the fire and maneuver tactic tactics, that's what you would use to kind of get around that issue or move around safely, or at least get into cover or concealment for long enough for you to actually formulate what the next move is going to be. So where are you going to move to? How are you going to advance? Who is going to advance first? Those kind of things. The third thing you would do is locate the enemy. So hopefully you're within an area that either one or some of your squad may be able to identify the direction, the location of the threat. So that would be locating the enemy. The fourth thing would be the approach. So now that you know where the enemy is, you can't sit there all day. You're going to run out of ammunition or be shot, or they're going to call in reinforcements and you're not going to last very long. So the idea would be to, if there's a formulated plan that makes sense, to move forward in a relatively safe kind of fashion following the drills, you would then start to approach the enemy position. These tactics are also used even when you're not under enemy fire. So you might be surprising them, you may be flanking them, they don't know you're coming. Same concept. The only difference is you just wouldn't be under fire in that scenario. So the approach is basically the part where you actually work out how are you going to approach this. It could be a number of ways. You would want to flank the enemy. Why would you want to flank the enemy? Anybody know?
Catch them off guards from the sides, stuff.
100%. So generally speaking, if something is kind of all the guns are aimed at you in a forward position, they typically would be at the weakest on the flanks. You want to get away from the direction of the guns, and you want to try and move around the edges or the flanks and approach it from there, and possibly surprise them, or at least not have, however many barrels facing in your general direction. Because if they're in a straight line, in a bunker scenario, for example, a bunker is pretty compromised in the sense that they can't see too far out the sides. So normally you're going to come in from the flanks. Then there's so that's kind of formulating the approach. Then the assault itself would be when you actually move towards the target, and how you actually do that. How are you going to assist one another as a team to actually kind of advance on the location, take out whatever the threat may be, hold that ground, and then the final thing would be to reorg. Basically, you've eliminated the threat. Most of the time you won't be able to stay there for long because they may have called in reinforcements or whatever the case may be, or you're moving to the next objective. So you would do what's called a reorg, and that's kind of the time where you assess your wounds, you check who's kind of hurt, who needs assistance. You would replenish your ammunition and swap out swap ammunition if you need to. You may have certain elements within your squad may have been firing a lot more rounds than you have, and it's for that very reason that when we carry ammunition and weaponry, generally speaking, within a squad, you're always going to have your specialists. So you're going to have your LMGs and anti-tank and all those kind of things. But as far as rifles are concerned, normally you share ammunition, and it's for that very reason, because Thane might have he might have one magazine left after this engagement. That doesn't make him very useful for very long when your next engagement happens. So obviously you would start sharing out magazines. So the main idea for the reorg is to kind of re-prep yourselves for the next engagement, or at least kind of put yourselves in a replenished state that regardless of what happens next, you are all prepared and you have the right ammunition, you're all patched up and healed. And any of your wounded have either been medevaced or kind of attended to, so that you can kind of advance as a squad. So if we go into detail, we will start with the prep for battle, and then from there we will start to move this course, and we will talk you through the process that typically would follow within this scenario. Remember that every scenario is different, but the concepts remain the same. So it's just how you employ them, and kind of, but the concept of what you're doing would kind of remain the same. So the first thing, as I mentioned, was prep for battle. So this is kind of, you're in the tree line, you've been dropped off, or you've kind of navigated to a point, and now the very next point is to approach the enemy or to get onto the assault of the enemy that you're about to kind of engage or take out, or the objective you're about to take in. The first thing you're going to do is prep for battle, and this can be remembered by the mnemonic PAW-PISO. So what it stands for is protection, ammunition, and I'll talk through each one of these: protection, ammunition, weapon, personal camouflage, equipment, radios, specialist equipment, orders. It's a mouthful, but it's actually quite simple. So we start with P from PAW-PISO, protection. So the first thing you're going to generally do is get your sentries out, put your perimeter security in place. For example, for something like this, you may be here for a while and you need to protect your flanks. I mean, we spoke about flanks just now. You also have flanks, you also have weaknesses. So if there's enough personnel, you would normally put out like some sort of overwatch that's watching your back, so nobody kind of comes in behind you guys and takes the entire platoon or the whole squad out. So that would be protection. It's not always employed, but it's generally, you will have some kind of protection within a configuration of, or formation. You're always going to have somebody watching your back, and you're always going to generally have somebody watching your flanks, especially when you go into a kind of, you're not moving. You would do your ARD, so your all-round defense, and then from there you would move out. So your protection is very important because it protects you and it protects your squad. A in PAW-PISO is ammunition. So you make sure that you've got enough mags, you've got the right ammunition. I'm sure everybody's done this, where you go to the arsenal, you pick up a nice shiny new gun, you run away into battle, and you realize you never took any magazines for it. You've got the only mag that came with. I mean, we think we've all done that. So make sure that you've got the right ammunition, assure that you've got the right caliber for the weapon. Does anybody know what type of rounds we should be using? Regardless of the gun, which rounds we should be using?
Armor piercing.
Armor piercing.
100%. So most of the enemy you'll come across are wearing they are our counterparts. They have the same kit we have, in just obviously just different faction, but they will have flak vests, they will have armor plates. So the only thing that generally goes through that is an armor piercing round. So it's always good practice to have armor piercing. The other stuff's just going to bother people. It's not as effective. So make sure you got the right ammunition. The next one in PAW-PISO is weapon. So armor takes care of that for us for now. That is going to change with updates that are coming. So what's meant by that is your weapon is always fireable. If you hold your weapon up and you've got a round in the chamber and you pull the trigger, it fires. Realistically, if you fired probably 3 mags, you would have to then start to clean out some of the carbon on the gun, and you would also not have the scenario of broken firing pins. So apparently that's being introduced in updates to come. For now, it's taken care of, so your weapon is always in tip-top shape. It is always working, and you never have a misfire unless you obviously don't have a round in the chamber. P from PAW-PISO is personal camouflage. Again, the game takes care of that for us because the kit that we wear is generally the kit that we go out with, and it is camouflaged. But generally, you could, there are options to put helmet nets on. I've seen ghillie suits, if that's applicable, those kind of things. So they would take care of your camouflage. It depends on the setting you're going into, depends on the environment you're going into, as to whether that is applicable or not, but you're always going to be wearing the kit that's applicable to the environment you're already being deployed in. Equipment, as far as PAW-PISO is concerned is all your other equipment, such as grenades, medikits, anything that is required for your general function as a infantryman. Torches, we do not generally carry torches. Does anybody know why?
Gives away position stuff.
100%. And the other problem that we have within armor is that when you have night vision goggles, the keybind for the torch and the night vision goggles is often the same. Can be changed, but most people don't forget to do it. You put on your night vision goggles and you've just activated your torch as well, which makes you a big glaring target for the enemy. So normally we don't carry torches, although Saturday night or Sunday night it would have been helpful. If anybody did the Wilson. But yeah, so for that reason we don't normally carry torches, but it would be your night vision goggles and all of those kind of things. So equipment. The next one is Porpoiso is radios. So make sure you have the correct radio. Make sure you've got a radio. Make sure it works. So there are glitches within armor. It happens every once in a while where you will try and talk on the radio and you get that nice red kind of radio icon where your radio is not working, and then you've got to swap it between different kind of parts of your body and put it in your pants and then put it in your black jacket and what have you. So yeah, I mean, always make sure that your radio is kind of working and make sure that you are on the right frequency. You will always do a frequency or a comms check before a deployment. Very, very, very important. Doesn't help if you get out there and SOTI's on the far flank of this field and Thane's on the other side and you cannot communicate with each other. So always make sure that your radio is working. Make sure that your frequency is set. Your IC will always give you the frequency to use for the basic squad. There is always a platoon net, and normally the individuals within a squad, apart from the 2IC and the IC, do not have to be on the squad net, because it does get very noisy, gets very chatty, and can actually disorientate you with a lot of comms coming in your ear, and also having to switch between channels to communicate with staff members versus platoon net. So radio, very important. S in Porpoiso is specialist equipment. So this is things like bolt cutters, sledgehammers, not that we carry those kind of things, or anything specialized for your kind of field. So you might be an anti-tanker, or an anti-aircraft, excuse me. You would need that weapon for that, or you are carrying specific flares or explosive charges for a specific mission. So that's where your specialist equipment. So anything that falls outside of what you would generally carry. And then O is orders, issued by, basically your orders come from your IC. If you are an IC, those orders come from command, and you have objectives and orders that you need to follow, because that's essentially why you're here, and that's essentially what your job is part of a bigger divine plan, instead of just running off aimlessly, just shooting at whatever moves. So yeah, that is Porpoiso. Any questions? As I mentioned, these are in the Discord channel. There are cue cards for all of this that will help you, but the idea here is prep for battle. All you have to just remember is make sure your kit is there, you've got everything you need, and also another thing is your keybinds are accurate. So if you come to, kind of how you've set it up, make sure you can get to your various weapons quickly. If you need to switch to, let's say, a smoke grenade or whatever the case may be, you're able to do that quite quickly, and you do that before you obviously enter the battle. Dane, you got a question? Dane? Can't hear you.
Sorry, I still don't have access to the CI channel.
Alright, I think Top Gear can help you.
Send me a DM, I'll sort it out for you.
I've already sent you a DM.
Thank you.
Perfect. Everybody else got access to it. If you don't, just let Top Gun know, and then he'll give you access. What we tend to do with the courses is this information doesn't get erased, it's always there. You'll find that every single course, regardless of which CI it is, each of the cheat cards, or cue cards are there. So explaining the basic principles behind these kind of acronyms that we're using. All right, everybody comfortable with Porpoiso?
Positive. Stop.
Positive.
Okay, now we're going to walk this. All right, so let's assume, so everybody follow me. We assume that we want to assault that bunker there, west, bearing 273. All right. Now, assuming we have done our Porpoiso, we came out of the tree line, and we basically now have an objective. We know what we're going to do. It's armed. Imagine it's armed. It's not actually. But we make this instruction very difficult if they were shooting at us. So assume that we've done the Porpoiso. We would, if they did fire on us, we would do our reaction to effective enemy fire, what we've just practiced earlier on, and we would run into cover. Now, we are quite a big squad, and there's a very good possibility that we would split, because we're not all going to fit behind the tree, the wood poles here. So one group would potentially go over here, and the other one would be over here. So now we are out of enemy fire, although that does not stop them. They are still firing upon us. So what we're basically wanting to achieve is we want to advance on that position, because we can't stay here all day. So we're a big enough group. We've got enough firepower. The only thing we have to do now is work out how exactly we're going to do that, and who's going to do what. So typically how this normally works is you will, and you've probably heard the term, you will have what's called a fire support group. And that is a squad that is probably equal to size of yours, maybe a little bit smaller because they've got more firepower. But that's where the guys carrying the LMGs would be running. And their general objective is to protect or to act as overwatch and suppression fire for squads that need to advance. They are very heavy, they do not move very quickly, and they're a pain in the ass when they have to keep up with you. So generally they do not run with you. So they weigh upwards of 50 to sometimes 60 kilograms, sometimes heavier, because they are carrying the big guns, they are carrying a lot of ammo. Everybody in their squad is carrying cartridges or magazines for those guns, so they are a very heavy group. However, they pack a big punch. Generally speaking, they would be in a scenario like this, and they would have an objective to protect you. So just as you guys were doing for each other over there, where the one is suppressing, the other one is running, we're now going to do this, but in a bigger group. So you would have a group, namely a squad, fire support group, that would be suppressing that position, while the other group moves on its flank. Papa, you got a question?
Yeah, sorry, Staff. For this exercise, does one of us take a LMG or not?
No.
Just
So
asking.
we're going to talk through this. You're going to have the opportunity to test this now shortly. But
Sorted, thank you.
Not now. Cool. So, given the fact that we are one squad, we don't really have an LMG within the squad, but we also don't have an FSG. We might be two squads or a single squad, but let's assume we are two squads and you have the same kit. It doesn't mean that you can't put down suppressive fire. I mean, 4 or 5 or 6 barrels on a single location is a lot of firepower, so you're still quite effective. So generally, in this scenario, if we had to go on the premise as I described, where half of the platoon, half of the squad moved over here, and the other moved over here, what you could tactically do is communicate between each other, and one of you becomes the fire support team. Who do you think would be in the best position with these two locations to do that job? So if we split you guys down the middle, half of you went over there, half of you came over here, where do you think is the best position from
Left
a
and
suppression
right.
perspective?
On the right side, where you're standing.
Why the right side?
Because you have
elevated.
Less view of the bunker. It's not mid of arc of the bunker for the enemy.
Cool. So the answer is could be both, and the reason why is because if we look, going back to what we kind of learned earlier with looking at your surroundings and trying to identify where your next concealment or cover is. In this scenario, we have cover on both sides. So we have log bales on the left and we have log bales on the right. So if we only had on the right the advancing team, it would make sense for them to move on the right because that's all that they would have, where they would have the best cover. In this case, it doesn't really matter. However, I would prefer the right, and the reason why, and it's maybe because I know the field, is because the distances of travel from one to the next is a lot shorter on the right hand side as opposed to the left. But it depends on the scenario. So in this case, either or. The point is that one of the one group is going to lay down suppressive fire while the other one moves. So the suppressive fire part's not too technically difficult. It's a case of being under or within, not concealment. You want to be in cover, because if you start kind of laying down rounds, guess what's coming back at you? Some more rounds. So if you're in concealment, you're not going to last very long there. But in the case of here, you would be able to safely set up behind these logs, and you would be able to lay down suppressive fire together. You would generally not shoot all at once. You would kind of just keep this repetitive fire going as one person reloads, another one's carries on fire. So there's no time for the enemy to even stick their head out. You've got to keep them busy. Any questions with that so far before we move on?
Yes, Toph. So the best would be for fire support team to be on the right flank, and then left flank to obviously flank the enemy and then get him behind them, because they've got more ground to cover, whereas by right flank can just keep on laying down fire.
100%.
Basically.
That's 100%. So that's the thing, is you've got to keep that fire going, and the other team is going to flank them, and they're going to do so with concealment and cover, which we're going to walk through now. Any other questions?
Staff, just a question on the odd cover that we've got here. Essentially, we've got people shooting on the right and left hand side. You don't want to peek over the cover.
Ja, is cover aan die regterkant ook, maar is verder weg.
Yeah, generally speaking, because they do have a height advantage, so you want to keep low. You're also not going to stay stationary. So you have to coordinate yourselves that you're not on top of each other, you're also not shooting each other, but you also want to remain concealed enough that you are not, as you said, sticking your head over these logs, because it's probably going to get shot off. So very right. And again, you're going to adapt as the situation unfolds, because the more you suppress and the less rounds they can get off, I guess the more brazen you can become. Of course, you don't want to put yourself within harm's way and just like stand in the middle of the field and shoot at them. But the more you suppress them, the less they can actually do. So that's the idea, is overwhelming firepower. That's ultimately what you're trying to do. The more guns you can put down there, is obviously the better. All right, so let's assume that the fire team is suppressing the location. We've now, as part of our 6 drills, we've located the enemy because we are suppressing them, and we would have done so by, of course, knowing where they are firing from, by kind of seeing the muzzle flashes. So if you consider the field that we just came off of, quite difficult to see when you're in a secluded area or under concealment to see where the bunker is. But if somebody is shooting from that position, you're most certainly going to at some point perhaps see muzzle flashes, puffs of smoke, those kind of things of where that kind of fire is coming from. So in this case, pretty simple, because it's elevated, we can see it. Not very difficult to see where the enemy is, and most certainly when the rounds start coming towards you. generally speaking, a commander within this scenario, so within, it would normally possibly be the fire support group, is going to call out the target and give it a range. So you will remember that you practiced ARCs as part of Boot Camp 2, I think it was, where somebody on the battlefield identifies a cone of observation. So in other words, if we're able to identify the location of certain obstacles within our field of view, somebody could call out an enemy or something of interest within that reference. So in other words, they would say center of arc would be bunker, left of arc is wooden poles, right of arc wooden poles. That gives you your cone of arc as to what to look at. Where that becomes really relevant is when you're trying to target something. So think of the FSG guys. FSG guys are now pointing their barrels at what? If they can get told, well, if it's not obvious, they can be told exactly 200 meters center of arc front. They know exactly where to put those barrels. So in this case, very easy scenario, but somebody will call out the arc within this scenario. This is a very simplistic view of it, and it's quite self-explanatory because you can see what's going on. But there would be somebody, especially in the FSG side, to actually, the 2RC would actually call out exactly where the kind of range and where you should be looking, because this is a stationary type of scenario. You've got people in a bunker. You may have different things happening. Somebody runs across the back of the bunker, whatever, and you want to get some eyes on that target as quick as possible. You need to be able to call out where it is, how far it is, and then they can put barrels on it and engage. All right, so the next thing that we would do, let's assume that we have suppressive fire. We're going to do it around the right-hand side. It's just a little easier to explain, although it works on the left, I guess. But let's assume where Top Gun is, there is an FSG, or at least half of the squad has moved there. They are laying down suppressive fire. The enemy is having a real hard time trying to track the assaulting group, which would be the second part of the group. You would typically move out of cover here, or you would move into cover. You're already in cover. What's the very next thing we need to do? So we're going to flank to the right. What do you think we need to do first? So now the enemy's being suppressed. What do we need to do?
Lay down smoke.
100%. So you don't traverse any part of the battlefield, if at all possible, without laying down some kind of cover, or not cover, concealment. So very important, when we throw our smoke grenades, wait for the smoke to dissipate, or not dissipate, wait for it to kind of fill up. If you just start running, the enemy's going to see straight through it, they're going to shoot you. There is a very good possibility the enemy shoots through it anyway, but at least you've got a better chance running, kind of not through the smoke, but around it, to get to the next level of concealment without being shot. So we would advance to the right, and we would probably lay down a lot more smoke here. You guys can follow? Alright, and then we would get to this kind of position over here. Again, we've got this big gap here. We would lay down some more smoke and wait for that smoke to get to full effect. The other thing to remember is that you can engage if you need to. So there's nothing covert about this. They know you're coming. They just don't know potentially where you are, or they actually can't actually fire at you because they're being fired upon. This whole concept works that you've got this Overwatch helping you and distracting them so you can advance. But if you see the opportunity to take a shot and there is an enemy, take it. It's not a case of you're not allowed to engage. But don't focus on it, because your objective is to get to a specific location and then engage within a tactical and when you have a lot more kind of advantage. But as I said, if you can engage and you do need to engage, engage. We would advance further forward. The firing team is still, the FSG is still firing. We would throw down more smoke. Ideally it would be white smoke, not green smoke.
I'm colorblind stuff.
And then we would get to about this point over here, right? Okay, now we're kind of at the flanks of that bunker. Now at this point FSG is still hopefully suppressing, and we are now at a position where we now need to engage. Now typically what you would do is you would have within your squad, you're going to have hopefully somebody that's got, either you might have a heavy machine gunner, or you could have somebody with UGLs, and that's their time to shine. You would deploy 2 guys here, and their job is to suppress that bunker from this side with UGL fire or a law, if they've got a law, and basically shoot it into the bunker. What we're trying to achieve here is obviously to take the bunker out. Sometimes you might not be that lucky, but at least stun them and create as much noise and distraction as possible, because as soon as they've fired that, we advance under smoke. I don't have any more smokes, to the position, and the assault, there we go. Thank you very much. We would advance to this position shortly after those fires have happened, and we would advance to the location, and we would take out any of the stragglers that are there. Now the one important thing about this aspect is before that happens, the IC or the person leading that needs to communicate with the fire support group to shift fire or to stop fire. Remember, we've deployed a lot of smoke here. They can't see what they're shooting into now, and we don't want blue on blue. So they would need to, either we need to tell them to hold their fire or to shift it. What we mean by shifting is if there was another bunker to the right, then they would shift their fire to that location. So you would literally radio to them and say that assault team 1 is approaching bunker 1, shift fire left, and they would shift their fire to the left.
Or
When
left
they
of
do,
middle arc, yeah.
yeah, to the left of middle arc, not your left. That's also very important. Good call, Top Gun. So what they would do then is shift their fire to the next bunker. The assault team would move in and assault that assault location, and while that is being done, because it's quite a big kind of a squad, there would be 2 people that would move up and start to approach the next bunker. In this case, we're dealing with 1 bunker, so we don't need to go into that level of detail. Does all of this make sense?
Roger.
Cool. So the main idea here, as I said, is it's fire team and maneuvers. The difference here is you're doing it as a squad or a bigger collective. When you're under fire, you are still going to have battle buddies. You are still going to advance in that type of momentum. The courses that come up teach you how to move in battle buddies within a squad more effectively. Today is more a taster of the concept of how do you assault an enemy position safely as a group. Everybody's got a role, everybody's got a job. You can't do this on your own, as I mentioned earlier. And the idea here is also communication. Because essentially you have 2 different squads fulfilling different roles, and the communication between both of them has to be really, really good, so that each one knows what the next shooting at a hell of a rate. They are shooting a lot of rounds into the area, so it's very, very pertinent that they are fully aware, especially with all that smoke deployed, because it will get chaotic, that they need to kind of shift fire or stop, so that you guys can advance. You cannot advance while they're shooting. You can try. It's not going to go too well. And then, as I mentioned earlier, you would set up, just before you advance on the position, you would set up 2 or maybe even 1 guy, depends, with a law or a UGL to actually shoot into the bunker, and that should take care of, at least stun them and allow you to approach safely and take care of the stragglers. Top Gun, anything you want to add?
No, just one thing. Is it just Bjerke and Tyne that can't have access to that combat infantry site at
Negative,
Discord?
I also don't have it.
So
Dragon.
Flame, yeah.
Check.
I also don't
I just double check because I'm busy with Mr. Bjerke to sort it out quickly.
So something I picked up on the Discord as well, some channels were hidden, so I just needed to show them as well.
Yeah.
Cool. Alright, so if everybody's comfortable with this, the very next thing that we would do, as I mentioned earlier, as far as the sixth drill is the reorg. So now you've basically occupied this area. As I mentioned earlier, infantrymen are the only assets or elements within the battlefield that can occupy land. A vehicle cannot, a helicopter cannot. Unless you are standing there, we have now taken this land. So the very next step is to reorg. That would be to resupply all of your weaponry, or your ammunition rather, get some meds, distribute meds, ammunition, patch up the wounded, and take care of that so that you're ready for either the next tasking or to move off, because there's a very good chance, unless your instructions are to fortify this and dig in other words, we are going to stay here and we need to protect this, kind of for assaults that may be coming. That's a different scenario, then you would do that. But the point is that you would regroup, you would reassess who's got ammo, who doesn't, redistribute, and get yourself ready for battle again. Everybody comfortable with that?
Sure.
Cool, I think that is it. You guys want to do the grinder?
Roger.
Everybody know what the grinder is?
Sounds fun.
I do it in the club, so.
Alright, cool.
Okay. Right back.
No problem. Alright guys, we're going to go to the grinder. The grinder is a simulation of exactly what you have learnt. You're going to put it into practice. You are going to probably die. That's fine. The point is to actually just practice some of the concepts under fire, and kind of practice some of the concepts and the techniques that you've seen tonight. At the end of every CI, we do the grinder, so it's not the last or the first time that you will do it. You're going to do it a lot. It is a load of fun. Remember what you've kind of learnt here, and you're going to basically employ this entire tactic as a group, and see how it goes. Guys, comfortable with that?
Roger.
Give me a second. Let me see if we can get you there. Everybody just get closer to me.
How close though?
Grinder close.
Just give me a second, guys.
Ja, ek sê die enigste een met ADHD nie.
Ja, ek sit ook met dit.
Ek sukkel. Ek gaan nie vir lieg nie, ek sukkel erg. Dis 50 minute se praat, 10 minute se aksie en jy's deel van daai 2 minute se aksie.
Ja.
Dis ook al my stresballetjie gekak het vanaand.
Oor dit regtig gedaan.
Hy het regtig, dit was nie 'n joke nie. Dis kom ek
gejoke.
Nee, ek het gister balletjies opgetel. Dis kom ek laat was vir die Ek was onder die tafel gewees. Toe hoor ek almal se ook in my beertjies op die terug. Pop ek tot terug op.
Stywer om my lywe.
Lag ek so hard, ek begin hoes.
Ja,
Hold on, guys.
get
Sorry,
it.
we're just having a bit of a glitch on this.
Great
with me.
informatie, met my nie verkeerd verstaan. Dit is hulpvol, dit maak sin. Ek leer baie, maar o hé, ja, dit voel soos geskiedenisklasse. Check JP die FA wel.
Wat?
Het al vroeër raak gesien. Het hy heel verkeerde loadout, verkeerde helmet, verkeerde vest. Hy kan nie smoke.
Wie?
JP het playtime. Aan jou linkerkant werk.
Ja, heeltemal die verkeerde gear aan.
Wow, okay, ja. World War 2 helmet.
Kijk, enige rokery hier so nie.
Ja. Jaloers, varkie.
Ja.
Nee.
Is net nog 'n hongerleeu.
Ja, die
Wat
vorige...
praat daarvan?
Hy het 'n bootcamp se goeders aan. Onthou hulle het ons op die verkeerde geweer gevat met die Red Dots. Dis bootcamp 2 daar. Hy is bootcamp 2 se loadout.
Wat ook nie.
Ek het nie klou my arm neer te sit nie.
Hey!
Ek het dit uitgefigure.
Magic.
Where are we?
We're at the grinder.
I'm so sorry.
Cannot swim, cannot dream tonight.
Is dan 'n oop veld hier? As dit close quarters, hè?
Ja, en hier so voor bo sien hierso.
Kan ons volg?
Ja, volg my. Hulle biners uithaal voor ons.
Befok, ek sien dit.
Oh, jigger, okay.
Weer
Sorry, guys.
geteleport.
Sorry,
Yeah.
man.
Sorry, it's Sykes. I'll teleport quickly.
No worries. I was trying to. One of my keys got stuck. Alright,
Okay, let's
cool.
move back.
Right, guys, move. There we go. Just checking if there's an arsenal here.
I'm gonna quickly drop one.
Yeah, can you?
Okay.
Arsenal, Arsenal.
Gee my die
who's
machine
done
gun.
the grinder before?
Negative.
Negative.
Nobody.
I have done it once.
Oh, okay, cool. So you know what to expect.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Ek kan
Alright,
sê standaards.
I would say it helps, but it doesn't actually. It depends how pissed off the AI is. Let's see.
yeah.
We've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
We appreciate
Alright,
it.
split yourselves into 2 groups of 5. Doesn't matter who's who.
Papa.
Het die JP nie.
Alright, we've got Dragon,
En hy staan langs, ja.
Yeti, 2, 4, 5. Alright. None of us.
4 can suppress fire. Just as it
Alright.
is as well.
Sorry?
And the 4 maybe then is the suppress
Yeah.
fire.
Yeah, so Thane,
Yes!
you're going to be team lead for suppressive fire.
So happy with it.
Grab yourselves a LMG. You're gonna need one for each of your guys. We don't have an arsenal
Daar
yet.
sing pyn se
Oh, there we
hartjie.
go. There we
There's
go.
one.
Alright, Papa.
Is dit instruksie gekry?
That's
it weg.
There were 5.
It's gone now.
Alright, Doom.
Yes, sir.
Is
You
There's
are
another one.
the squad lead for fire
Stop kan,
support.
staf kan we
So
grab?
you are Charlie, and then the fire support group is Delta.
Zijn dus allemaal moet toch vat, nee?
Roger, staff.
Alright.
Dis wat ek hoor het.
Fire support is the LMGs.
Correct. So you will
Give
be
me a
the
few
assault
seconds. I'm
group.
just quickly
Your
sorting out
job
this.
is going to be
Okay.
to assault the location. Fire support
het klaar,
group
man.
is
Het
going
is
to
echt
run
weer
with
slim,
you
jy is
until
vinnig.
they get to a point where they are going to be in a position to suppress.
jy dit geput die
You
loader,
will
hoor?
communicate on.
Ja, van laas keer.
As I mentioned earlier, you need to be in contact with the
Al twee
fire
myne
support
wys
group
dan net klere.
and being able to issue them
Jy
instructions
moet wag, ek gaan
to
dit al uitsorteer.
shift fire when they need
Wow,
to.
okay.
Alright, make sure you guys have got enough ammo. I think that
How's hy?
if you're carrying
How's
about
that
9
LMP?
mags, make sure you
Okay,
have
fine now.
at least 5 or 6
Check with
smokes
you.
on you.
Thank you.
And get some grenades and
Any
one or
specific
two of
ones that
you
we need
get
to use?
a law.
Sorry, say again.
Any specific one that we need
I'll
to
get
use?
the law to.
Are you what are you gonna run basically?
Saw.
LMGs.
Yeah, run saw is easier.
Saw is easier.
It's lighter and more ammo.
Alright, Top Gun, I'm just gonna put down some of the enemy.
Yes.
How many ammo for the law?
You can't take, you basically can only take one bullet at a time, so you can take 1 or 2 lows.
Damn it.
I don't think you can carry one more than once. So I'd rather go UGL if you can.
Wat is die UGL?
En ek mag UGL hardloop?
Ja, so
Ander flank grenade launcher.
UGL.
Dankie meneer.
Ek het nou 2 los gevat.
Nee, ons moet nie los vat nie.
Die assault squad gaan julle hoor, gaan Mago gaan hulle baie gebruik as die Charlie squad en jou FSG, jou fire support groep gaan die Delta squad altyd wees. So dit is ons om altyd benaming gee vir hom. So as julle hoor van Charlie squad, dit gaan die assault groep wees en die Delta squad gaan die fire support groep wees.
Ons kry elke backpack kry of iets, net om 'n bietjie meer ammo te kry.
Okay, is die backpacks hierso.
Ek sien nie backpacks nie.
Kom ek kyk gou hierso, ek gee kans. Daar.
Okay, ek sien nie die UGL's nie.
Ah, en ek vir daar.
Ooh. Here we go, backpacks.
Okay, backpacks word nou daar te wees.
Dankie.
Okay, ek gee UGL. Ah ja, ek het nou fokke weer rond hier so. Yes, hierdie ding.
Hy wys dis wat se naam.
Ja.
So vir daai AIJP.
Ja.
Nou, hulle skiet kopskote JP pas op.
Wat se magasyne vat hulle? Die
Weet jy, ja.
M55.
As iemand
Van die
extra
M4,
ammo
jy kan die
kort,
M4
fyn
vat
gaan
of die M16 UGL.
Wat net die een met
So kan die M27 maar bære.
Ja, dis basies die twee wat jy kan gebruik is die M4 of die M16, dis maar die twee raas.
Roger.
Ja, ek het
Hierdie is langs aan
twee
die
van hulle.
farm wat ons
Ja,
een op elke rug, skouer, woorde.
Ons gaan baie gebruik vir ARCs en alle goedjies.
jy het net een nodig en dan nog ammunisie.
Goedjies so ja, dis maar basies sien
Terwyl jy reload, kan ek die ander een uit alles skiet.
Ver genoeg.
Waar is die UGL se wow, okay.
Ons gaan nie
wat sê jy nou
UGL
van
nie,
my?
ons gaan masjiengewere vat.
Daar's klaar 'n paar ouens met UGL's.
Ek kort hierso, ons kyk gou hierso.
Wow.
Ons is 'n sportgroep.
Ons is 'n fire support.
Roger.
Okay. Nou maar dan maak ek die saakie.
Maak iets hierso.
Juis.
Hey, wat gaan jy? Wat gaan jy?
Soutie.
Die Arsenal het toegemaak en toe klik ek deur, sorry.
Wat sê sorry, jou guy moet op sy wees ou.
gesling.
Alright, gentlemen, ready?
Iemand gaan fail.
Ja.
3 seconds.
I can't find the smoke. What page is it on?
Yeah, I also couldn't find.
Daar was nie net so smokes nie.
I'll give you some smokes. I've got some if you want.
Yeah, I've got
Smokes
4
must
at
be
least.
here.
Camel black.
No smokes. Let me sort that quickly out here.
Delta, if you're finished.
I dropped some smokes here on the ground.
Okay, Thane, you Delta, eh?
Affirmative.
Thank you.
Your job is to follow behind the assault team. The assault team, Doom,
Roger.
assault team, you're gonna move to that direction over here,
Yeah, smoke's now here. Anyone in these smokes here?
Roger, staff.
and you're gonna follow the river. And if you carry on with the river, up ahead, far up ahead, there are some bunkers. Then you need to find a position that's going to be able to suppress the assault. So you're going to move into position first. You'll travel together. You will travel behind them, and then you will get into a position where you are able to kind of lay down assaulting fire. The communication between the two of you as squad leads needs to be kind of firm and clear, because you don't want to move. The assault team does not want to move when there's no covering fire. And then think of when you start to assault, all of the tactics you've been shown tonight with smoking off the enemy so that you can advance, and you want to, if possible, flank the enemy and give the instruction to shift fire. There are multiple bunkers there, so it wasn't just like the scenario we saw now where there's one. You're going to start with the first bunker. When you get to it, then you're going to have to move ahead. So think how you coordinate your squad, and think how you communicate to the FSG team. And then the FSG team also needs to consider if they need to move, if you need to advance. So we're going to leave this in your hands. As I said, this is a first run. There's a hell of a lot that's going to happen. But just kind of think of all the concepts you've learned. Doom, you got a question?
No. Roger, staff.
All right, you guys ready?
Ready.
Roger.
Roger.
Charlie squad.
Delta's ready.
All right, off you go.
Charlie squad, move in.
Stop.
Yep.
Moving in.
I hope you don't mind about the sight that I have on, but you can't actually put a normal red dot on.
No, that's fine.
So yeah,
Weapons check.
Don't stress.
sorted, thanks.
Just remember that your aim of fire is going to be very different with that.
100%.
All right, cool, guys. When you're ready.
Okay, let's move up, Charlie squad. Single file.
Delta, move up with me.
Okay, Top Gun, I'm going into GM.
Chops up.
Guys, can we talk on platoon, please?
Start at the river across it or on the side?
Run with the
Move
river.
into V formation, Delta.
Roger, start.
Remember, use dead ground where you can, and that river gives you dead ground.
Okay, finish what else, man?
Sick.
Dis 'n baie gespreide weer.
Is dit allemaal wat Charlie squad is?
Soms in Delta
as well.
Charlie squad, move in. Charlie squad.
Dragon, close in with me.
Smokes out.
Keep moving, guys. Keep moving up the river. Get near the river. Use the river as dead ground. Moving up.
Healing.
Set, move up.
Fire squad, shift right.
Reloading.
I'm down.
Bounty down. Dragon tank down.
Diver set. Moving up.
It's okay.
Dou F2 te druk julle.
Ridge line opposite of river.
Roger,
Moving into cover.
moving up.
Magazine.
Set, move up, move up.
The diver with me, move up.
Magazine.
Papa Toxin, we're safe. Papa Toxin, we're safe, you can move up.
Healing.
Papa's Ugella.
We're safe, Papa, and so you can move up.
Moving.
Cross the water.
Set, move, move.
Moving. Lay down smoke. Fire squad,
Papa, use the tree line to advance forward.
Magazine.
Right in front of us.
laying down smoke.
Magazine.
Enemy to the right of Ark.
Dirt diver on me, move flank right.
Guys, move up with Thane.
Enemy down. Moving up. Magazine.
Fire squad,
Thane is
take
by
note,
South,
we're on
what do you-
left hand side of field at fences. Careful arc of fire.
Take over.
Firing squad on me.
Papa's you're safe.
Set, move.
Set for vehicle team.
Magazine.
Roger. Okay, firing squad. Advance to the right.
We're safe, Papa.
Moving.
Mag.
Healing.
Ja, kijk, jullie staan ook 3 mijl achter mij. Hoppa.
Papa's
Down, down. Man, my man.
Ek kom.
Fire support squad move up closer to the assault team.
Use the river for
Papa,
cover.
move up with me.
Smoking. Smoke.
Safe, Papa, and move up.
Moving. radio 6 o'clock. No, enemy down.
Fire support. Contacts moving on your right arc through field and bushes.
Kan aku sini.
Papa, move up.
Out. Moving.
Form up on the...
Hai. 14 minit lagi.
Maar jullie staan niet achter met meer van je gat.
Enemy. Papa toxin set, move out.
Ik was varken, zie je
Back.
Sykes, this is Novaki here, over.
Okay.
Move yellow, doom shots, moving.
Ek weet nie waar julle is nie, so ja.
Dragonflame has been killed.
Set. Papa, side to move up.
Back. Moving. Set.
Mag.
Okay, moving up bunker now. There.
Dragon station. Just hold on, Doom, hold.
Okay, great.
Move out.
Okay, form up. Let's move into first bunker. Down the road.
Guys,
Move you going
guys,
to
fire.
bunker. Enemy at the bunker. Close quarters.
Is bezig om jou terug te trek.
Good copy. Fire support team, aim right arc, move arc. Contacts in road on general fire.
Roger.
Okay, dirt down.
Contact moving left. Wooden logs, contact moving left. Moving on.
Fire support team, first bunker clear. Shift fire right.
Roger.
Clearing second.
Papa, UGL on encampment in front of us, please, while we move up on bunker.
Reloading, one bullet left.
concentrate fire on UGL bunker, far right in the woods.
Roger. Roger.
Moving to third bunker. Third bunker, one enemy down.
Oh, man down.
Mag.
Charlie squad, smoke down front on bunker, right hand side.
Pushing up to bunker.
Gooi my teen die regterkant.
Okay, I'm back.
Yeah, X-Plus.
Fire support moving on 4th bunker.
Fire support, we need fire on 4th bunker. Shift fire right.
Mag.
Fire support, shift right. Fire support, shift right. 2 bunkers. Fire support.
Campaign nets.
Okay, safety. Let's move up. Shift fire slightly right. Fire support. Shift fire right, shift fire right.
Fire support, shift fire right, shift fire right.
I'm out.
Last mag.
I'll drop some for you.
Yep.
Fire support, please shift to fire to the right.
Shift fire right, shift fire right. Stop firing. Hold fire. Shift more right.
Hold fire, shifting.
Moving up.
Fire support is moving up.
Roger that.
Je moet weer een radio sê. Waar het hy?
Charlie moving
Verby het gebeur. Ek gewoon weg.
All bunkers clear.
Down.
Please stop fire, stop fire.
Hold fire, hold fire.
It's down.
Kom ek gaan help vir beertjie. Kom, hardloop. Ek kom.
Nee, ek dink ek gaan dit maak hê. Dis in elk geval nie morfine of enigiets op ons.
Nee, ek dink nie so nie. Okay. Het jy nog plekke wat bloei?
My boss het 'n serious wound, maar ons het niks met dit. Ons kort 'n field medic vir dit. Let dit ons sê.
Charlie moving back.
Ja.
Together, I'll
Gaan we
beam
saam
you
met die
guys
span.
across. He's still got an enemy there.
Okay.
It's getting dark in here. I don't like it.
No, I think you spawned in.
Because we were on that position, he just popped in.
I think call him in, Sykes.
It could have been that he was down, but not dead.
Oh yeah, true.
Sykes, guys, all yeah.
Yeah, Lava said we can do a demonstration with them, but I don't think it's a bit late, so it depends on these guys. They want to run with Lava, those guys, Mango and Ghost.
Yeah, I mean, that's up to everybody else. So, everybody, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh, Berkie.
It's been good.
Is everybody here? Yeah.
Roger.
All right, guys. What thoughts?
It's tough making the calls, especially converting to English.
Yeah. Okay. So one of the things that you guys did well for the first time. This is always a challenge. It's always different, and it's designed to be that. Fire support group. One of the things that you should do is move into a closer position. So if we look at, and it's something that you guys will learn in future CIs, is that river runs in dead ground, meaning that the enemy may spot you, but they can't effectively lay down accurate, effective fire. So although you're being shot at, you can use that river to traverse all the way to the top. As a unit, you need to stay together, and FSG could have moved closer, which I think would have given them a little bit more of the edge. So in other words, right up at these rocks here would give you more arc of fire. Although you were doing a very, very good job from long range, that was the problem. You were too far off to effectively assist once the assault team got behind those bunkers, because you could only engage anything that you saw within your range. But otherwise, not a bad run. I mean, you guys did well. As mentioned, giving commands and trying to keep yourself alive, that is a challenge in itself. But well done, guys. The other team has asked if you guys want to do another run. I know that it is late. We are half an hour over schedule. Apologies for that. But you guys, anybody who wants to stick around is more than welcome.
I'm unfortunately out for this one, Staff.
No problem.
If that's fine.
No problem.
Otherwise, I'm gonna get bliksem by the wife.
Sykes, you're underselling what's happening currently. So we have a whole bunch of
Ek kan nog so
experienced
klein
guys at the
bietjie
start line that is wanting to show you guys how to run the grinder. So we've basically split up into an assault and an FSG squad, which you guys can fall into and then run the grinder with us.
No problem. We will do that.
Okay,
Jene meneer, moet jy dit nou so stel?
Sykes is definitely not a salesman.
Nee, ek sal hom leer, moenie worry nie.
So yeah, that's basically, we're not forcing anyone to stay later. I mean, we're also doing it for fun for us to run the grinder, because since we become like you training and do all sorts of things, you never do the grinder anymore. So yeah. So to not waste time, we can quickly head to the start line and then we run through it again. You basically rebomb, get your equipment reloaded and smokes and everything as needed, and then we do a run.
Yeah, so
Okay, there's no explanation needed, we will just start the run. So just come in the open field, we can teleport.
Thanks, Top Gun, for the CR1.
No
anytime,
problem,
guys, anytime.
And
Yeah,
anyone
like,
has to step off and get off and log off, thanks, and then if not, come over here and we hop over.
Yeah.
Thanks, Papa.
See, sir.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you, Staff Sykes.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you, Staff Top Gun.
Yeah, passing here.
As quick as
There we go.
94.
Wow, nice.
Okay, guys, refill.
Okay, so nou is ons
What
assault.
page is the smoke on?
Last time
Dis
Ons val in waar ons kan.
Ek sou graag assault wil geval.
Now it's here.
Wat ek nodig het is wat.
It's just one page.
Wildcard. En
Okay. 6 smokes.
nee, daar gooi ek my geweer weg.
What page are they on, please?
Smokes are here at the bottom of the where you see the little grenade icon.
I got them, thank you.
Wat 'n geweer het ons gehad?
Take the whole arsenal of smokes.
Ja.
Ek het die LMG, ag, die Saul gevat.
Let me just take the radio.
Wag, ek hoor verdak. Waar is hy?
Yeah, I'm definitely not gonna be a SOC leader. Or leader.
Say again?
I'm definitely not gonna to be a leader.
Ah, man, you're learning it.
You took, this is your first attempt. It takes practice.
Yeah, it's definitely different than room clearing.
I still get it wrong.
No, it's something that just with practice. It's don't sell yourself short. This isn't meant to be perfect the first time around you do it, or the second, or the third, or the fourth. So yeah, just hang in there.
I used to play a lot of radio or not. I can take some lead there, but that's about it.
No, you did well.
Yeah, everyone did well.
Thanks.
Alright, let me just go find out what our bonds are.
No one said top one.
Let's say
Gaan maar aan.
No, mates the front. Okay, we see mates.
Which is the fire support group?
Ja.
We see mates.
Nee, daar is
39 fire support and 38
Is there
assault
is
group.
there mates?
Almeer PC.
Hallo troepe, hoe gaan het troepe?
Lekker.
Can't complain.
kom ek kyk gou.
Is aan die ander kant.
That's okay.
Nee, dat sien jy nie.
So just split up. So FSG by the tree line and assault over here. And you guys as well, if you swap roles or whatever. So assault team over here, FSG by the tree line.
Oh nee.
There we go. Do you guys, okay, so radio for assault 38, radio for FSG 39.
Roger.
And the rest of you, and squad leads for each on platoon. If you guys want to listen in, it's one assault group on the left side and FSG on the right side, I guess.
Cool.
We're gonna basically repeat what you've done, just with a bit more oomph, a bit more momentum.
Players, who are the players?
Yeah, so
Hydrox and Smack, me and Honey.
Smack.
I need a buddy.
I'll be your buddy.
Yeah.
Okay, and then CI for assault, HP.
Sorry, what did you say?
IC, sorry, not CI. Mango. Okay, Mango's IC. And then FSG, who's your IC?
Assault, eh?
Yeah, it's gonna be assault.
Witwolf?
Alright, you're not buddy.
Yeah. Maybe let's put our helmets on.
Good call.
Okay, going to the man. Sidewinder IC for FSG.
100%.
You guys are on 39. Okay, who's my buddy?
Ek het ook nie 'n body nie.
Hello. Does it?
Jy kan saam nou wees.
Well, okay.
If you guys want to hear what everyone's saying, so 48 will be the platoonette in this case. And if you want to listen to what's happening, you can listen on that, but don't talk on that, please. That's for the ICs.
Roger.
Topcon, are you setting down the enemies?
No, I think Sykes will do.
Okay. Extra smokes.
I'm gonna be an enemy.
Okay. BG is gonna be enemy. BG will do the enemies.
Roger.
You're putting them down, Peter.
What?
Not gonna be boys.
No, he's gonna be one.
No, I do net die Zeus, basically.
Okay, just get out of line of sight because they're gonna open fire as soon as they're placed.
Can I put the enemy down?
Yeah.
Wat is ons radio call?
Dat was 38 assault, nee.
38 assault, 39 FSG.
Take water, back.
5 by 5. Copy, 5 by 5.
38 check, yeah, roger.
Right, assault team.
5005.
We're going into staggered file in the water. Yeah.
Roger. On you.
And then belt buckles, and we're going to clear by our twos. All right. So listen in for your twos. HB and I are pair 1. We're going to the first ruin. Pair 2 is going to the second ruin. Pair 3 is going to break the corner. Pair 4 is going to the tree line. Roger.
Roger. Roger.
Roger.
Roger.
Tim, have you got a buddy?
I think that's not been explained to these oaks yet.
No,
Roger.
They follow on. So basically, we work in threes. So, Barky, come with me and HB. Beachy, you go with Lava and Papa.
Yes, Birky, so. Okay, so it's three
I've got 11.
Dirt Diver, go with Smack Badger and Dak and Hydrox, yeah?
The dumb question, doesn't HB want to take 2 newbies and then we have a better control within each group? Or do we have a senior in each group? No, do we have a senior in each group is the question. Okay. No, if we have a senior in each group, that's fine. Okay. FSG ready?
Ready? Yep. They're ready.
Okay, let's go. Let's go.
Go.
I mean, we're carrying quite a loadout, so often I just make sure I take a little less smoke, but I always will make sure I've got smoke. Yeah.
We need to follow in the file.
Staggered file.
And my game crashed. Yeah. As ek sommer al klaar maar toe geskiet.
Are we smoking off that corner by the river?
Sorry guys, I just connected back.
We've got someone advanced very far up. Mango, is that you? We're coming up to you.
Advance, dead. 10 meters behind, engage.
down this riverbank.
Patching up.
Smoke was down.
Are we pushing up on the ruin?
That hill, anyone in the back there?
We're clearing first, we're clearing first.
It's too hot to push up.
Roger.
I'll do it at the back.
Smoke out.
Top gunner back up.
Roger.
So T-Farky, push up to us.
Roger.
Popping smoke.
Offset. Contact, drop, direct.
Dit was net wat by my kom.
Fire as you see, guys. Fire as you see. Use cover. Use the cover. We already got 2 down.
Still on have morphine for Bierkie.
Mimic.
Coordinate smoke drop by mango. Lit up in the cover.
We're pushing up from the rear, shall we go up to the ruin?
Guys, always call your reloads on props.
Moving.
Top gun on your right.
Lava moet ek smoke drop by jou gooi.
Fire,
I'll keep remaining near
Now we
us.
can move up. Roger.
Ons weer in die ruins inkom. Kom vat posisies saam met my. Spread out.
Don't forget, mount your weapons to lose some of that recoil or get onto
take our
it.
left flank.
If you can see, put out your forks and use them on the
Moving. Take cover. Guys can move. Dit is high truck center. Roger.
Uber, frustrerend. Very frustrating.
Kijk, Dirk, ik kan move.
Parky Soti on us. Roger, moving. Daxel, Hydrax gaan push up. Push naar die eerste ruins toe eers.
Dirk, move. Need your cover. Moving. Dirk, move.
Team 3, let's get round the corner. Team 3, you can move.
Do you have some morphine for me?
Don't neglect the smoke, boys. Don't neglect the smoke. Lava, get some smoke out.
Want some morphine?
Yerky, at your 6.
One in smoke. Roger. Smoke out.
Werk je recht?
Team 2 is firm and wait.
Sorry dat ek vra.
Sykes, Top Gun, move up, get round the corner to the tree line.
Roger that. Zeg er weer.
Ek bekruip net al van deur agteraf, so dis alles. So
Sorry. Is jy nou reg? Is jy nou reg?
I'm moving behind you.
Okay.
Goeie so. Gaan net so. Ja, dat spijt ik mezelf weer. Dan zeg ik ze morphine addict.
Roger that. Roger.
Ik ga in keer.
Ja, ek het dis
Lava, let me know when they're round the corner. We're gonna real 5-9.
Wow, oké.
Ja, ek sien nie meer die wit nie, so is dit nou reg.
Ja, ik zal stelselmatig.
Sykes, this is Mango. When you're round the corner, let us know when we all gone you.
Shoot. One of you shoot the other way, then the other shoots the other way. That way we keep fire running.
Sykes, stop gun. I'm with Bjerke. I'm just moving with him.
Talking guns. You want them to
Get dirty, kan beweeg in doorslingen. Roger. Okay, I drop down in cover. Roger. Yes.
De Willy is op zijn volste neer. Ja, dat is ja, hardloop zeker. En die chef maakt
Top
een
Gun, Top Gun.
Yes,
This is Sykes. We're waiting at the corner. Out.
Roger that.
Don't have my smoke is finished.
Okay, guys.
Roger.
Magazine.
British.
Ja, een beetje beter.
Ja, maar ik heb nog niet gehad.
Nee, nog één keer geen zag of zo. Kijk, het wordt nu stelselmatig recht. Daar heb ik weer. Nee.
Grenade fire right. Keep your fire off the left. Aim more to the right. If you see anything there, clear it out. Do not fire near the position of friendly.
Roger.
Nee,
Top Gun, I see you.
Roger. Roger.
just moving slow.
Lava, let's go. Get into the tree line. Lava and me.
Ja.
Moving. Okay, moving. Good, move.
Okay, holding at the logs in the field.
Roger. Moving. Cover.
Is first bunker clear or not?
Ik ben weer. Naar Sykes toe.
You guys hear that? Right of the rock.
Okay, Sykes on you.
I've got a broken leg, so you can go forward. Tower behind. First bunker's cleared.
Okay, let's move. Let's move to 3 logs. Let's go to the 3 logs.
Enemy taker.
On me. Covering.
On your side.
Go to the left. Just friendlies.
Yeah, it's going to be moving soon. We're going to be using that tree line to fire formation.
Okay.
Watch the tree line in front.
Roger.
Okay,
Still clearing bunker.
Let's hold here.
Okay. Hydrox move.
Okay, challenge, move.
Back, go with Hydrox.
Okay.
Keep these positions suppressed, boys.
Third bunker clear.
And then location.
Moving to machine gun nest.
So there must be enemy in that one because we've got a fire on it.
Magazine.
There's a machine gun behind it. Okay, HB, Barty, we're going to move to the left of Dak and Hydrox. Yeah, out of this killing zone. Let's go.
Enemy northwest 292.
Kijk, kom eens beweeg naar die loks toe.
We're on your left.
Moving.
Roger.
Coming to you on your left.
Roger.
Magazine.
Bunker left.
Okay, are we ready to push the next nest?
Pew geleden Mark.
Oké, we starten met de volgende voertuig.
the end of the position and then we'll go.
Roger, yeah, I've lost my battle buddy. He's locked out, so I'm solo at the machine gun nest in the middle.
Moving to lava.
Don't see any depth positions, but
Okay, lava on you.
Okay, roger.
Moving.
Okay.
Team, just get down. Don't skyline yourself there.
Roger.
Top gun just wait for us.
Roger that.
Okay, Mango, say when we can advance to the next position.
Grenade out.
okay, just be aware of that dead ground in front of us, boys.
Roger.
Roger that.
Dak, don't cross in front. Dak, don't cross in front.
Roger.
Okay, twee van jullie kom rechts van mij, gaan vorentoe. Doom Sykes, go to the next bunker.
Roger that.
I'll check the left side.
In that bunker.
Just go, a grenade in the bunker, clear it.
Doe gooi daar grenade aan.
Sykes, you in our line of fire.
After this one.
Terecht.
Checkpoint in the dead ground.
Roger.
Doom is hierdie bunker by you clear. Okay, let's push up on the... Sykes, we're pushing up to you.
Roger.
Okay, check that tree line, boys.
Roger.
Check forward, yeah. Check down the tree line to the road.
Go to left.
Okay, advance to the road.
Moving. Doom on my
Try
left.
and keep the advance in line with the other guys.
Check for friendlies in front of you.
Left as well, guys. Okay. I'm covering you guys. In the right.
Okay, Doom, I'm on your
Let's
6.
cross. First two guys,
Roger.
let's go.
Center of bunker.
Barky, Hydrox, Southie, go.
Checking tree line.
Top Gun, jullie kan gaan. Beertje, Top Gun.
Beweeg.
We're holding.
Moving.
Hydrox, I'm on your right.
Don't cross the rocks, hey, don't cross the rocks yet.
Okay.
Roger.
Okay, let's get that bunker cleared. Grenade that tree line.
Sykes, I'm coming up on your right.
Grenade out.
Roger that.
Big grenade.
That was over, it's not in the bunker.
Copy that.
Okay, you guys can push on that
Moving
side.
up.
Yeah, let's get in there and clear it.
To your left, top man.
Roger that.
On your right.
Right behind you, Falky.
Hi docs, how's it look?
Looks clear. If anybody's got a nade, push it in there. Reorg.
Let's move back, let's move back.
Crossing.
My beertje, my yellow. ARD guys, ARD.
Prep for counterattack.
I've got a south side, check.
I've got a southwest.
Southeast.
North covered.
I've got main road town.
Once they call us in, there we go. We will move in.
Okay guys, mag checks.
Check your mags out, check your mags.
Any injuries?
Non-mag.
Good on mags.
Everybody smoke. Any casualties, any injuries?
Injuries have all been cleared through respawn.
Chest.
Let's get into position southwest. Let's get in the tree line on the other side of the road. Let's make sure we're in the tree line here.
Are we going back across the road?
Yeah, we need to cover that side, I believe.
They're coming.
Okay, Ductile, was Ductile Hydrox, wie snel was julle?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ja.
Ik sê plus 10 mags.
Gaan maar oor die pad.
As je safety is niks aan nie. Gooi die geweer neer.
Crossing.
Op de grond en dan tel hem weer op.
Along this position, julle kan oorkom.
Steeds.
Maak seker julle cover pad soos julle cover suid en wes, suidwes, né?
Daai ene, hoe sy? Steeds. Drop een van je geweer op de grond.
Keep an eye on your house, please.
Contact south, contact south.
Contact south. Distance.
150.
Enemy. I'm coming to you, got it?
Magazine.
Roger.
Set.
Top gun on the south. Coming on the 6.
Roger that. Beertje, kom je recht aan. Stap.
Non-magazines.
Good.
Thane, the mounted gun is going to do a lot more damage.
Gun ammo.
Bearing 154. Movement.
Dragon, call it in if you're opening so that we know what's happening.
Sorry, yes, there was fire coming from
160.
Confirm 160.
Roger.
Yeah, saw suspected movement, also bearing 160, single infantry. Not sure if they're crawling through the grass.
Okay,
guys, just remember we don't all have the same compass bearings, so try and use target indications like left or white smoke, in white smoke, that kind of thing, eh?
JP, that was not east.
Reorging,
This reorg on
Roger, staff.
HV and them, main element.
Okay, 2 of you, so we don't all rush. So 2 of you cross, cover you. Okay.
Crossing.
Werken ons bij net zo eerst.
Roger.
Moving.
Keep a slight KRD.
3 cans left.
In position.
Cover us.
In position.
Anyone low on mags?
Last man.
Roger, moving.
Roger, moving.
4 cans left.
Awesome shit, guys. Awesome shit.
Okay, guys, let's reorg back on the.
Let's reorg back on the start point. Okay, just clump up. We can just get in the field in a bundle and then we can TP. Okay.
Okay, right. So how was that?
Very fun.
Yeah, lots of fun.
That's good.
Okay, so it's, did you take less casualties than before, or I mean, we were also a shit ton of people, right? I'm not sure how many AI we defeated in this case, but obviously we had a lot more firepower than you guys. But did you see the change in momentum? Did you see the change in movement? Kind of like the idea of constant pressure, like you have to keep a sustained momentum, that kind of thing, and then obviously communication. So that's key. Yeah. Any questions, comments from your side?
We need a lot more practice.
Yeah, practice will
Yeah,
do.
it comes with practice.
You'll get loads of practice down the grinder, don't worry.
I think what we mentioned earlier was making the call outs while trying to do it. It's like for your first time, it feels weird. You don't know where to call, you don't know where to push.
I
But
agree with you.
following,
It's the same
yeah, following the orders helps a lot. But it gets you into it.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
it's just practice to being able to walk and talk at the same time, basically, and see it, be able to explain it, and then when you come to CI2, the guys are going to teach you to make target indications so that, and reference points, so that when you see something that everyone needs to know about, you can tell them exactly where it is. And then when you come on marksman in a month or so, we'll really refine that for you so that the comms become so much easier. But the key to that exercise is, like Lava said, is just momentum. You can't sit and wait because they're too accurate. They'll come and find you and kill you. You've got to keep constant pressure on them, and you've always got to be making sure that whenever you move, there's always supporting fire. If you move on your own, you get killed. If everybody moves and nobody's firing, everybody dies.
Roger.
Also,
how many runs did they get, Sykes, Top Gun? How many times did they go down?
Just one.
Just one, yeah.
Yeah, we had a bit of a late start. Yeah, and a lot of them it was the first time they've ever been down the grinder.
No worries, that's about right. You're only getting one go on CI1. You'll get more on CI2, CI3. You'll get a couple once you finish the combat medical, and then 4 is nothing but assault lane. So you'll get plenty of time to practice then. Good work, boys. I'm stepping off because I'm
Yeah,
beast.
nice work.
Same.
Me too, yeah. Thank you, Star.
Thanks everyone.
Thanks for the
Same.
Thanks for the evening.
Yes, yes.
Recce Carter, I'll see you.